Hey, homeless, how you doing? Oh, good. Yeah, hanging in there. Nice day today. Can you hear me okay? How's the audio on this? Okay, good. Now, how about this?
Oh, I'm not, am I? No, I'm not, am I? I was on the phone with Rich actually called not that long ago, and so he was going on and on and on, and
You hear this okay?
he said, okay, so at 6:15 rolled around, I let it go. I stopped, and Sharon had messaged me, and she said, it's really important. Amy, are you there? Are you there? And I was like, oh, wait. So like the guilt was seeping in, and
Yeah.
I
You tell me.
responded to her about 20 minutes ago, and I said, Sharon, I said I waited till 6:15 your time, and I didn't hear nothing from you or Rich, so I took a nap, and she's like, well, I asked you to call me at my real number, and she sent her real number, and I said, yeah, I messaged you at your real number. I don't know if you saw it, but I messaged you too around, the same time, and she's like, okay, Rich is going to call you and give you details what's going on. I said, okay, so he's called, and I'm listening, and
how's he come across?
he's very hyper. He's talking really fast, and really, but I don't know.
I know what the deal is. First of all, the rich guy has got a room covered. And secondly, I took off for a while, and so I knew there were people in line ahead of you. I'm telling you, these people will eat you alive. I don't want to get into this deep with them. So I texted her, and I texted him, and I said, hey, I can't do it. And she said, well, it's crazy, Well, I know better to ask why. Because you'll be on the phone an hour and a half listening to some melodrama that'll drive you nuts when all you're trying to do is help out somebody in need. So I guess what she's saying is there's some crazy in the neighborhood or in the house or something that's drunk, that's going to start a war with cops. I mean, I wouldn't call that an emergency. The neighborhood she lives in, that stuff probably goes on all the time. So I texted her back, and I said, well, I can't help you. I'm not around there now anyway. And I texted the rich guy and said, hey, man, I can't help you. I'm not around there anyway. I'm not in. The Red Roof Inn, luckily, is sold out.
Okay, see, now he lied to me, okay, because he said, Sharon has been telling him that Tom has been ignoring her.
Hey, let me tell you this. I always ignore her. Constantly. It's been since day one. In an emergency, you need to be picked up from whatever. Like I told you earlier, this cutesy bullshit isn't going to do anything with me. If you were just straight up, I could appreciate it more. I don't have that problem with Maddie, Tassie, Becky, and I just stay away. So yeah, I do. I always ignore her though, constantly. I bet I haven't returned 1 out of 50 phone calls to her or 1 out of 50 texts. I don't want to be that close to her. And as I told you, she's not really a favorite of mine. I mean, this shit's not going to work with me. I don't like drama. I don't want to get into your life. I don't want to have anything to do with you outside helping you as a drug addict and get you going in the right direction. That's it. But the problem is they're so used to manipulating people and having guys, particularly older guys, fall all over them that they're on autopilot with me. They've been getting away with this shit since they were 18, and it's not going to work here. So once I figure that out, I'm gone. Tassie calls me up, who's like the worst example ever. I'll give her a free pass. She was a prostitute at 15, been fucked by every goddamn uncle and stepdad there is. So with her, I'll give her a free pass, just like retards get to heaven. She calls me and she's behind on rent. It's worth it to me to pay her rent to not get out there because I know it's easy to do. She's got a nutty, crazy, psycho boyfriend it's not my business. I stay out of it. But Sharon's not at that level. And you know another thing that aggravates me a little bit? Not a lot, a little. You know, you're a struggling drug addict. What's this flashing $100 bills on prize giveaways on chats? Aren't you broke?
This is the story that Rich gave me. He claims now, when I look at Sharon's video last night, I find it hard to believe, but he tells me that Sharon was, he says she lives in a house where there's no electricity, there's no...
So here's the thing on that. There's 2 houses. Actually, there's 3 now. Supposedly, I think there is a house with no electricity or water. I do, because she told me that right out of the chute. But there's another one where she stays, which is down the street. And then there's another one where she's doing that third chat now, right? And early on, like mistakenly, about probably 5 months ago, I was coming back from the airport after photographing some airplanes. And I made the mistake of saying, hey, didn't you need anything? And she says, yeah. It's like, oh, God, what? She wanted a couple cheeseburgers from McDonald's. No problem. I got the cheeseburgers at McDonald's. Well, I couldn't find the goddamn house. And you know why I couldn't find it? Because I'd never been there before. I pulled in front of the house that I'd always dropped her off or gifts off at. Well, she probably got mixed up in her stories, and she's at a house 300 yards down the street that I never knew about. So finally, she comes walking down, and she texts me. It's like, where are you? It's like, where are you? She said, I'm at the other house. I said, Sharon, you've never said anything about another house. So it's this kind of bullshit that turns you off on people. So that was honestly the beginning of the end. That is true, but that house where there is no electricity or water, she's not at very often. And when I give her I'm getting away from that too. You know, I think it'll eventually get me killed. I have my share of enemies out here. And these crazy bastards, they make up all these nutty stories. And what was happening is it was leaving me in these bad neighborhoods for too long. You'll see on some of the videos where I get a little short with Sharon. I'll tell you why. I'm dropping off a bunch of clothes and bullshit and everything else people send that I told them not to. She'll sit there and pick through that stuff like she's in a goddamn apparel store. You know, I'll be there 90 minutes trying to give her 3 shirts. So when she says to me, this look good on me, I said, I don't know. Yeah, right, whatever, you know. Pick something so I can get the hell out of here. But like I said, she's so used to manipulating guys and having them hang around like this is some great honor. It's the exact opposite of me. I want to get the hell out of Dodge. So early on, I learned that she was going to be a lot of baggage, and I just stuck to straight helping. We're not going out to lunch. We're not going out to dinner. I'm not interested. I'm not. So that's what the deal is.
Rich claims that she
Hey, here.
beat up. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, she didn't say anything about that.
He said she got beat up by her drug dealer.
That does happen. That does happen.
But he said it happened 2 days ago, and I just saw her
No, that's not true. I don't believe it. And why is it Rich down here? He doesn't seem to. I mean, if you got a brain in your head, I know why you're down here, but I don't think he has one. He drives down here at the drop of a hat, 10 hours one way. I wouldn't drive that far to get a back rub from Miss America.
Sharon claims, I said, so where are you? And she said she's at the Red Roof Inn.
She's not. She just texted me and she said she's loitering at the Holiday Inn.
Well, then she says, she goes, but I can't get a room because I don't have an ID. And I said, so are you sitting in the parking lot? And she said, no, I walked across to the Holiday Inn to go pee. And I said, oh God, okay. I said, do you mind if I call the Red Roof Inn and I will offer to send an email authorizing with my ID, my credit card.
Don't do that.
An authorization to get you in the room. And she hasn't given me a response back.
Don't do that. You're lucky they're sold out.
But you see, when I was talking to Rich, I didn't tell him that you were calling in on the other line, and I was like, I'm not calling and bothering him with this.
Yeah. And where's the where's the GoFundMe money? Where's that? Is that the $100 prize money now?
Well, he said he just sent her literally. He sent her $500 to pay her drug dealer. And
no, that's bullshit. As it turns out, her drug habit's only about 20 hours a day. It doesn't take that much heroin, believe it or not. It's gotten cheaper over the years. And I gave her $100 a week ago, and this Rodney gives her money whenever she needs it. So something is not adding up here.
And then Rich said that, just to give you a heads up, that she's looking for your van.
She is. She came over here and knocked on the door.
Oh, no?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I said,
but she's not sure what room I'm in. Although she probably heard Daisy barking, and I already tipped the hotel clerk off. I mean, they'll do anything. I know the owners; they own like 300 Red Roof Inn. I know the manager, and I know all the ship supervisors. So I already tipped them off. They're not going to tell her anything. And like I said, they're sold out. Even if I wanted to get her in, I couldn't. There's no rooms left.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the least to like trying to even call and do that. So, ay.
What is the deal with this? She says she's going to rehab in 6 days. Where?
Well, she claims like it according to these text messages, she says she's been calling in every day. But Rich told me that they played a little in front of, I'm not quite sure who they were trying to fool, but he said that they were trying to make somebody believe today that she was going to rehab. And he was the person calling, and she played it out, gave the address, thanking them for getting her into the rehab, and that, I'm like, what? And then he said that the person that she was trying to play this off of in front of forgot 10 minutes later. He said, what are you doing? And she said, I'm going to rehab. I was just on the phone with rehab. And the guy said, what? I didn't hear you on the phone talking to anybody going to rehab. So he didn't even hear it or didn't remember it. I'm thinking, I don't even know what to think.
That could be the California guy. Although he seems pretty sharp. I've talked to him a couple times. He's an ex-IT guy.
I don't know what they're doing with it. Yeah, she probably, if she really is wandering around the parking lot of the Red Roof Inn, yeah. I'm like, oh God, she's gonna find his van.
Yeah, she did. She knocked on the door.
Oh God. She's desperate.
Yeah.
She's really desperate.
What is keeping this Rich from driving down here?
I don't know. It's like, well, he says, I want to at least get her in a place tonight, safe for tonight.
Let me tell you, this area where she's at now is safe. And even the area she's at. What's that?
He told me there were some dump hotels down the same.
They are dump hotels.
He goes, but I'd rather her go sleep at Maddie and Gerald.
Oh,
I'm like-
that's a good idea.
He said, you know, there's like 10 people living in that house. And I'm like, wow. Okay.
And the guy that owns the house is a drug dealer.
So I'm like, so I cut Rich short because I saw the, and I didn't want to tell him that you're calling in.
Yeah.
And he says he's afraid to call you.
I think, why is that?
He says, I don't want to make him mad.
Why would he think he'd make me mad?
I don't know. I'm like, well, I don't know. I can't really, speak for him. I don't know. And he goes, but, and then he says all Sharon's contacts somehow got synced into his phone. Like, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, right.
And,
that's possible with the Gmail. You could sync him into another phone if you claimed it was you and you knew the password.
So he said, I have his phone number, but I'm afraid to call him.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to him. And I bought him runs here before, because I knew he seemed like he was being a good guy. It's a little strange too that a guy that would recognize that the girl isn't attracted to him would keep on trucking. You think the light bulb will come out? It's like, I thought I'd try it, but I'm not buying some girl all this shit. We're just going to be friends. But he may be that desperate. I've never really listened to the guy or anything. Most people tell me he seems kind of goofy.
He talks 100 miles a minute, but I suspect too, I haven't looked it up yet. I remember somewhere along the lines where with his nose being so red, I'm not sure if he's shooting coke or shooting something up his nose. I did notice that.
That usually comes, it's rosacea. And what it's usually a result of is heavy drinking.
Okay.
You'll notice Bobby Knight, he used to coach Indiana.
Yeah.
And Michael McDonald from the Doobie Brothers, big drinkers. Yeah, that's an early sign of an alcoholic.
And that's the only thing I really stood out to me. I thought, when you're trying to help her get on track with it, it could be 100 million things.
It could be 100 million things, that's exactly it.
I can't really.
I never listened to any of those things, but evidently, he told his story one time on one of her lives, but I didn't give two shits about it.
Yes, and he kept asking me if I knew who the black guy was that she lives with. I'm like, no.
He seems Ron. He seems like a decent guy. So were you sold a story like she left because of a crazy that's going to have a war on cops, or because she owes her drug dealer money?
She owes her drug dealer money, and that Rich told me that.
Well, hey, so now we know this. Either he's lying or she's lying, or she's just lying to him.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
But I think he'd be a pretty good guy, easy guy to manipulate.
Well, she's definitely doing it to him.
Yeah, he's stupid enough to where if he saw a crack in the door of a chance of hooking up with her, God knows what he'd do. He's already bought her a computer and all sorts of other shit. I think he's afraid to call me because he knows if we have a discussion that I'm going to pin him down on this bullshit.
He's afraid. He doesn't want to make you mad.
No, it's not going to make me mad. He doesn't want to answer my questions. That's what I bet it's about. Because there's nothing out there that anybody would think would make me mad. You're not going to bullshit me. That's different than making me mad. That's what he's afraid of, I bet you.
She never responded to my message either. I said, do you want me to contact because I said the Hilton properties in that area.
God, do that.
Because I'm just, Rich said that the drug dealer that she does her lives at, for some reason just snapped and was beating her up 2 days ago. And then he put on this, when he gets in these moods, and he says he carries a gun. and he's been to prison for murder.
Well, we'll tell you, that's a possibility. He has beat her up before, and that's the guy she was screwing over the summer last year. Because of the conversation, not that I gave two shits, but it came up about, I don't know how the hell it even came up, because I don't give a shit. I don't ask, right? I don't want to know, right? I'm not interested. And somehow it came up that she said, I think it was her first black guy. Oh, I know what it was. It was shoplifting instead of doing prostitution. And somehow black came up. She says, well, I just had my first black guy. He happened to be my drug dealer. And that's the guy. But he has beat her up before. I know that. But see, this is a common thing amongst heroin addicts and their drug dealers, because she's got outstanding warrants and she can't call the cops on them. Because if she does, she's going to get locked up.
Yeah.
So these guys, these kind of guys like this guy, they're well aware of this. You can beat them up all day long. They're not going to do shit. It's not like a guy beating you up in Chesterton. He'd be in jail in a half hour. But see, this is the part. I don't want to get in this deep with these people. No way. It'll eat you alive. I've seen it happen. I can give you all sorts of examples of they'll ruin your life.
Yeah, well, I was contemplating. I was like, I don't know what to do about this. And then
Don't do it. Believe me, man, I've learned a lot. I didn't know jack shit about prostitution and heroin addiction 10 years ago. I know a lot about it now. What gets the guys is they're attracted to them, and then it's game over. These guys will screw around on their wife, remortgage their house, max out their credit cards. Before you know it, 3 years go by. As soon as the money runs out, see you later. They're experts at manipulation. Yeah.
And he also said, Rich said, maybe she should just go to the emergency room and stay there. And I'm like,
that's a good way of doing it, because, when you don't have, the emergency room is a problem when you don't have money and you're middle class. If you're flat broke or you're rich, emergency room's great. The rich don't give a shit. They got the money. The poor don't pay a dime. Medicaid pays. A lot of poor people and drug addicts use the emergency room as their primary care. Even though it's a $4,300 bill for getting a damn Band-Aid on a boo-boo, they don't give a shit. The taxpayers are paying it. Even if there's a copay, their credit's so messed up and their criminal record's so long, doesn't matter. What's one more collection? Can't get blood from a turnip.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, but I would never, ever, under any circumstances, tie your Hilton stuff to these people. None of them.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I need money for an idea.
It's not a good idea, but you're a decent person. You want to help. And you don't know what I know. When you're in an advantage because you're a woman, you're not some guy that hasn't been laid in 25 years. Those are the ones they really get, because it's like shooting fish in a barrel. Easy picking. There's a lot of lonely people out there. There's some guys that can't get women attracted to them. And with these women like Sharon, generally the women that prostitute, there's always a couple guys older guys out there, that aren't even screwing them, but they bail them out of jail. They let them sleep on their couch. There's something that occurs in an older guy's mind when he's trying to help a younger, attractive woman. If they could screw them, they'd love to, but they're happy if they don't. They just like being around them, and it's a good feeling to want to help someone. But I can tell you, Tony, he's dead now. So was Russell. He's dead now. Those were two older guys that tried to help Becky. And they're both dead. You do not get sucked into this. If people need 10 or 20 bucks, but do not tie them to that Hilton thing. And do not get your credit card out there under any circumstances.
Yeah, and then with Rich, I said, did you offer to even your driver's?
It wouldn't have mattered, because these people, Red Roof has been hosed so many times. The person that's checking in, it better be the guy that's staying here.
Gotcha.
Now, what'll happen sometimes? I know everything that goes on here. I mean, I'm in a PI for 40 years, even though I haven't done shit in 10. But I had huge agencies, like 30 employees. I know this PI shit in and out. And these people that are they just know how to scam you so well. There's so many tricks out there, you wouldn't believe it. There's a lot of guys out there that this is the only female attention they get. It's the same way, even when, if you look at that interview that I did with Jamie, I'm not into topless bars. I've been to them. I mean, I'd probably go to them once in a while now, but they're all old women now with purple hair and rings. That doesn't interest me. It's not worth it. But you'll go into a topless bar and it's all old guys and they're holding hands with some 20-year-old and they're lonely. And like Jamie says in an interview, as much as that scamming bitch was full of shit, she was truthful about one thing. When an older guy comes to a topless bar, there's something in it for everybody. And you know what? She nailed it. That is no shit. She's getting money to supply her heroin addiction, and he's getting the companionship he can't get any other way. He's tried every dating site. Women have brushed him off his whole life. He's not particularly attractive. He's older. He's screwed. He doesn't want to go out with the women his age, and it's worth $100 an hour for him to sit and talk to a 21-year-old girl that's willing to bullshit him. When you're vulnerable, you believe anything. When you're sharp and you don't want anything, you don't believe any of it because you know it's not true. I'm telling you, these people are excellent manipulators. Sharon is excellent. Rich is not. Well, so we've gotten two different stories on why she's not at the house.
Yeah.
Now, I do know this guy's freaked out before and beat her up before. That's true. But I'm not sure which house that is. And I know it's not the house where Ron lives, the older guy. He's got some kind of physical disability. This guy she was banging is a younger guy. He's a heroin dealer.
Yeah, because I was confused. I said, could you tell me one more time, Rich? I'm a little bit confused as to like, wait. So she lives with a guy with no power.
No, he's got power. I've been there. It's got power and stuff. That's where she usually does the lives. But evidently she's doing a live somewhere else now. At a lady's house, which I don't know who that is.
Rich told me she's been doing the lives at the drug dealer's house.
Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility. It could be wrong that maybe it's not a female's house. That's a possibility.
And then I tell you the part where Rich said Sharon told him that the guy, the drug dealer, put on his suit that he puts on, like his murdering suit, and got a mask out and everything, and it just scared.
This is tonight?
I don't know exactly when that took place.
Yeah. No, I believe the guy's crazy.
And I'm like,
but she's been there like forever. I mean, there's a possibility this is true. And the only part she left out is that it was her drug dealer. She said it was just some crazy guy, a war on police. It's probably him. This probably is an element of truth to it. But she's been living there like forever, or at least staying there part-time. She was beat up by him last summer. Yeah, that's true.
Goes back because of the drugs.
Goes back because of the drugs. Goes back because of the drugs and, desperate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wonder what's keeping him though from hightailing it down here and just checking her in.
I don't know. I don't know. He didn't say.
Is he planning on coming down here?
He didn't say that. He didn't go into that. Like he just I cut the conversation.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know if that eventually was going to come up, but I didn't ask him. Like, are you coming down here?
Yeah.
Like I felt like I didn't want to like. I felt like if I said that I was guilting him into that,
Yeah.
so I didn't say it. But it didn't sound like it because he said he's tried he talked to a girl named Dawn. And she wouldn't take it. He said he had a picture of himself. He had a picture of his ID.
Dawn where?
At the Red Room.
That's not true. That's a lie. There's only one person working, and it's Kay.
Huh. Yeah, he said her name was Dawn.
Mm-mm.
And he said it a couple times on
No.
Rehab. And he said, one time, Tom did help me out. He paid for a room here, and he said, if I ever needed anything to ask for Faye, I don't know.
Kay.
Kay, okay. I thought he said Faye. Maybe he did say Kay, and it sounded like Faye. I don't know. Or
Yeah.
maybe I'm thinking of Faye. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said he talked to a Dawn, and Dawn was kind of short with him, and
Yeah, because you can't do it. Nobody's going to allow you to do that anywhere.
nope. She said, no way. I'm like, okay. Well, I mean, I said, as far as Hilton goes, I said, there's nothing tonight. And I said,
Yeah, do not associate your name with Hilton and them. No way. Don't do it.
my stomach's flipping.
Yeah, don't do it.
And then Red Roof Inn's booked, so oh
Yeah,
God.
you're covered. And then just don't be available tomorrow.
I really didn't think. See, and that's where I just did cut, like literally probably 20 minutes after I got off the phone. She texted me. She's like, Amy, hello. I'm like, oh no. I didn't hear nothing from Rich. I didn't hear nothing. Rich said he was sleeping, and that's why he didn't reach out to me, because he was napping, and he felt like a real jerk. And so he was missing like the calls from Sharon, and he's awake now, but
Yeah.
like I just don't know what to do. I told him, I said,
I would just like not talk to him. Just tell him that, you know, you had some financial deals come out and you can't do it. You'll regret it, believe me.
yeah, I have I feel for her. I really do.
Yeah, but there's chinks in the armor now. We're getting 2 stories.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh.
I try and help her, but I'm not letting her check in under my ID. No way.
Well, then I didn't think about it too. It's like, she didn't be, you know, she's got to be doing drugs there. It's like,
That doesn't bother me, but she'll do stupid shit like smoke and stuff, and that's an automatically $300 fine. This is a no smoking place and just stupid shit.
they do that at our hotel in Chesterton. They'll hit people with
Yeah, I don't blame them. Well, they spell it out to you at the beginning, you know.
250.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I text her. I said, do you want me, my last message to Sharon was, do you want me to contact the Red Roof Inn? Because, you know, I don't want you wandering around the parking lot.
It's not unsafe around here anyway.
And she said she was cold, and so she went into the Holiday Inn across the street and peed. And so I'm like, so I said I could call and ask him to offer him, you know, like my card.
Don't do it.
And nothing. She didn't say nothing back.
Yeah, that's because she probably already found out that they won't do that, even if you wanted to. I mean, these Red Roof Inns get scammed. They've been scammed in every way possible. They learn what to do and what not to do. So, you know, the Hilton's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah, it is. And and that's another thing. And I'm a guilty one, letting people slide at the Hilton. Like I probably let more people slide than I should, but I'm like, I don't know how many chargebacks. So I haven't gotten any.
Well, you know, they get screwed out of that all the time here at the Red Roof Inn, which is why they want cash deposits. Somebody will come in, smoke marijuana all night long. They're not supposed to. And then they'll charge them the $250, and the goddamn credit card company will charge it back.
It happens all the
It
time.
happens all the time. That's exactly right.
They'll fight it.
Yeah, they'll fight it. And these credit card companies are for the customer, not for the merchant.
Exactly. I feel bad that I really hope she just gets a safe place and.
Well, it's not that bad around here. And I would bet we're not getting the full story. They told you a different version than they told me.
Yeah.
We know that for sure.
I'm blown. I'm really not shocked she knocked on your door. I'm really.
Yeah, see, but she did it just thinking that I happened to be parked right in front of my room. But that's only because I got back early today. Usually, you're a few spaces down or something. So she didn't knock hard, and I bet she didn't because if somebody answered the door and said, what the hell are you doing out here? It's like, oh, I thought my friend was here. That's his van. So I bet she knocked on more than one, and she knew better than to go in the office.
Yeah,
they're not going to tell you what room I'm in.
Well, then I asked Rich too. I said, so she's at the Red Roof Inn that Tom's at, and he said yes, and he said she was looking for your van, but
she was.
Find it.
Well, she found it. It's easy to find. It's not that big of a place. There's only 2 buildings, and I'm in the front.
Either she didn't tell him she knocked and found your van, because he says, and literally when I was just speaking to him, he said she told him she can't find your van.
She did. It's so easy to find. See it as soon as you came in the lot.
It's like, why? What's up? What?
See, that's my whole point. You can't believe it.
Why lie to Rich about not?
Because Rich I bet she's bullshitted Rich left and right. And he's too dumb to figure it out, so she just keeps on doing it.
Or she's probably trying to think, oh, okay, well, you found Tom, then you're okay, then I don't even worry about you.
That's possible too.
Yeah. So she's probably maybe making him think that, so she can.
I bet he's maxed out too. I bet she's about got everything out of him that's there.
Yeah, it sounds like, I don't think he has any more money to send her.
That's what I'd be my guess.
He goes, I just sent her my last $500. And he goes, and then she told me she's out of her heroin. And
did he tell you that?
Mm-hmm. He said she's out of heroin, and he sent her his last $500. And he goes, and that was to pay her drug dealer. And he says, I think that she probably only paid him half of it and used the rest for drugs, and she's out of drugs already. And
but the drugs she'd pay half for are from him.
Right. It's
you only pay him half of what you owe, and then you spend the other half on what he's going to give you, despite a balance. This isn't uncommon, though. This is how they get these women to do bestiality and all sorts of shit. They get them behind the 8 ball financially. You got a heroin addiction, so you have a physical addiction and a mental addiction. And, she wants to quit shoplifting because if she gets caught again, they're going to send her away for about a year or so, right? And this is how these guys get you doing all this crazy fetish bullshit. Just like this. This is exactly how it happens. Dope sick is a sad thing to witness. So when a girl's in her position, they can come up, they'll do anything when they get dope sick. Anything. Have sex with dogs, guys pee on them, crap on them, you name it. And that's why, because they get them behind the rock, get them under the 8 ball, and they're willing to do anything. It's just a matter of time. As soon as they get dope sick, which is like 10 times worse than the flu, that's how you get all this crazy fetish porn by heroin addicts that get dope sick. And once that dealer cuts them off, they may hang in there for a day trying to, say, screw you. But man, when that old heroin comes a call and you're screwed, that's the bad thing about it. It's a physical and a mental addiction.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it makes sense because does take a deadly grasp on somebody, and that's, it's scary.
Yeah, it's the worst drug ever. It's the devil. That's no kidding.
She, what did he say? Oh, he said that, he told me, he goes, I just don't want her to get dope sick. And he said that to her, and she said, that's the last thing I'm worried about right now.
I don't believe it. I think it's not. I think that's really what it is.
And he goes, well, I'm glad to hear her say that. So it sounds like she doesn't even really care about it. I'm thinking, well, she's probably high. That's why she's not worried about it.
Right, that's exactly it.
Like, so that's where I'm just like, I think he might get played rich. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think Rich is a perfect victim. He fits the profile. 100%. You know, he was down here when he comes down here to help her. And she actually goes home to that place, even though he has a room here. I mean, if that isn't a wake-up call, what is?
Yeah, I heard him say that. I did hear him say that he stays there.
And she goes home. You got to give her credit, though. I mean, she does have some standards. She needs money more than ever, and she's not going to bang Rich. Even though he's come through with a bunch of money with nothing in return.
And it's and then I'm thinking, is that why he's reluctant to jump in the car right now and head on down here?
No, I think he's too dumb. If you haven't figured it out, by now, Sharon's home free with Rich.
And then he said he had an RV, that he could come down and pack up all her things. I'm thinking, she's not coming back with you. I mean, I can't say that to him, but.
And this cat thing is another deal. He's got her cat. So, I mean, the cat thing is just going to be a metaphor for the heroin dealer. He's going to have her by the balls with the cat, just like the drug dealer does with the heroin.
Probably good the cat got out of there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's taking good care of the cat. I don't know.
It's hard to say because I really don't know him.
No. I don't want to know. I don't want to know these people. I don't even want to know the rich guy in California. I mean, you wouldn't believe the people that come out of the woodwork when you start getting all that attention on YouTube. I get like 1,000 emails a day. I don't answer any of them anymore. I shouldn't say any of them, but most of them. Most it's these crazy older women, a lot of weird guys wanting to hang around with me. You wouldn't believe all the shit I get for Christmas. Gifts. People want me to stay with them. When I go to places like Louisville and Lexington, there'll be 50 people wanting to buy me dinner. I was actually in Louisville and Lexington, and people recognized me. Not me, but they recognized the van and Daisy on the dashboard. And I come out, and it's like, are you Tom Reed? It's like, yeah. Oh, how you doing? I'm watching your videos for 5 years. Oh, great, man. Good to meet you. How are you?
I believe it. He isn't in Hilton anymore, but he came from Detroit. And he lived in Detroit, and he was telling me about the underground parties there. And I said, the chosen one. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it happens all the time. Let me tell you about underground parties. There's a place called the Russell Center. It's a big, huge industrial complex that seen its day, but there's still a lot of different businesses in there. Well, they have blind pigs there after hours drinking. And this is what happens. They have a medicinal marijuana thing there where they grow marijuana and you can buy it legally. But what people don't know is none of the legal marijuana gets sold there. They get tipped off when the state comes in and does an inspection. All the marijuana sold out of there is illegal. You get much more money for it. If you come in there with an additional marijuana card, they're going to be rude to you because they don't want you there to begin with. They don't make as much. So they come in to do an inspection on how many plants they have. They get tipped off by somebody at the state. They bring in rider trucks. They take all the marijuana plants and they move them to a warehouse. They come in and do the inspection, and they only have like 80 plants or whatever. The inspection's over, and they bring in the other 1,000 plants that they just moved that nobody knows about. At midnight on Friday and Saturday, there's 500 teenagers that show up, underage teenagers. There's 3 barbed wire gates you have to go through. So even if somebody called the cops, it'd take them 45 minutes to get in there, and you'd be able to flush all the dope down the drain. At 12:30, the MDMA comes out. At 1 o'clock, the heroin comes out for the heroin addicts that show up. And then at 2 o'clock, they start serving booze, and that goes out all night long till 5 o'clock. And then everybody leaves. And you think, that sounds like horseshit. It's not. I know a security guard that works there. And you think, how in the hell could this not come unglued? I'll tell you how. Social media. These young kids are actually from some of the wealthier suburbs. It's not a bunch of scumbugs coming down there. It's young, crazy kids that take Uber, whatever you call it, and party all night, Friday and Saturday, buying all sorts of damn MDMA and all sorts of shit. Mushrooms. There's an Asian guy that goes down there with a backpack and sells them all this shit. It's crazy.
When I'm like, it sounds like a whole new world.
Oh, big time, man. I know these guys are druggies over on the east side, which is where the feds go in. And I met them through YouTube, actually. I was up in the abandoned Packer building one time. If you go on there, you'll see there's a rap group, white rappers. They're big drug guys. They're called, the producer is called K-Free. I met them one night in the Packard building, which was, they'd arrest you if they caught you. And I don't do that shit anymore, but I did then because I thought it was a low chance of getting caught and I really wanted to see it. And, I kind of promoted their music for them. They're great rappers. But I went over to their warehouse one time, machine guns, stacks of $100 bills, no shit. And their videos, it looks like that's fake and they're just doing a rap video. It's not. These guys are hardcore. Just shit laying all over, man. Young, like cute girls, like just dime a dozen, dope, machine guns, all these crazy like pistols, AK-47s. Yeah, I'm not kidding you, man. There's a world out there you just would not believe. They know. They don't even have to say to me, don't say anything. They already know that. But that was my last visit there. But I've seen this kind of stuff. It's crazy. This world, there's an underground out there to blow your mind.
Yeah, just hearing that, I was like, what? Underground party? Wow.
Yeah, big time. That guy actually, I know these guys. I know the owner of the building too, not personally. He's a Greek guy, he's a slum landlord, but I know a security guard there. Carries a 9mm illegally. He tells me, why don't you work a night with me some night, just to experience it. It's like, shit, man, you could get shot any night. Mm-hmm. I said, what's the one thing that stands out that you've learned there? And he said that blacks love controversy. They love drama. Whether it's bumping Indian in a line, whether their drink doesn't have enough alcohol, whether their popcorn bag is half full, it's always something to start an argument. That's why you see these shootings and all these black clubs and stuff. It's constant drama. That's what he said he's learned.
And I'm not racist by any means, but when I mean like we have different clientele, they don't know. What?
Seriously?
Yeah, we never had. When I worked at that resort on Indian Boundary, a lot of black people came in there, and it was constant problems. And then when I got out of there and went to the Hilton, I was like, oh my gosh! And I'm not trying to be like.
No, it's different. It's different clientele.
It is. They're all over. I was like.
Yeah.
And they want everything like often, and
yeah.
I had this wow, some of these some of the people that you interview, or some of the people like I encounter that kind of behavior at the desk, in the lobby in the hotel. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Even the black people that I'm tight with here, they would join in with our conversation. They know exactly what we're talking about.
just, and then even like the church groups, this is going to sound really bad, but they're the worst groups.
Yeah. I'll tell you, there's a famous place in Michigan, Rockford. It's kind of like set up through early American times. They have a lot of colonial type businesses, you know, the women dress up in outfits. And there's a kind of a famous yarn shop there. All it is yarn. You go in there and there's this big building and like a million different variations of yarn. So they bring these senior citizen buses through and they do tours and stuff like that. You know who steals more shit than anybody when they come through? The senior citizens.
Goodness, I believe.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. I mean, some things you have in your mind, you think that, you know, you got to, you look at them. It's like those Amish, you know, it's like they're not all that up and up either. Yeah, I mean, people put on a front.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, we do.
So with these guys, I'm warning you. If you do it, you can't say I didn't warn you. But believe me, I can see the writing on the wall.
When I was on the phone with him, I was like, oh my God, what do I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know how to help right now. Like, and I'm just like, I'm not drawing him into this because he's like, oh, you know, he I don't want to upset Tom. And I'm thinking,
why would he think what would upset me? See, he knows he's not going to bullshit me. That's what I think he's afraid of. I've never talked to him. Maybe once I did. Like, nah, did I or not? I don't think I have never talked to him.
well, I mean, I recognize the voice from, I did hear him on YouTube
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
I definitely know it's him.
Right.
But I just, you know, but now knowing, I'm not going to tell him that I spoke to you.
No, I want to, nobody knows we talked.
Yeah, I'm not telling either one of them. Sharon wrote in the text, Tom is ignoring me.
I always do. I always ignore. It's nothing new.
Like, and I just said no comment. I didn't say anything to them.
Yeah. No, I always do.
I really don't know. And then she says, well, can you get on the phone and talk to me? And then she says, oh, you know, Rich is going to call you. Okay. All right. Well, I picked up my phone when it rang, and it was Rich.
Yeah, she told me the other day that Rich is a huge pain in her ass.
I believe her saying that.
Yeah.
And I believe it. Her saying it. I do.
Yeah.
I could see there's really no, nothing.
Hey, you know, you're divorced, aren't you?
I am.
Do you run into your ex at all down there?
No. And the crazy thing is, he lives literally a block over from me. But no, I don't. And he's remarried.
Oh, okay.
And and I just no, I don't talk to him. I don't have you know, he is her problem the way I look at it.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And I don't have to deal with that anymore.
Right.
He, yeah. I met him when I was in high school. I was 16 years old and married him I was early 20s. And,
I don't know anything then.
man, stupid move. And,
everybody does it. I didn't get married till I was 30.
I wish I wouldn't have.
Yeah, well, regrets, everybody has them.
That he took me through the ringer. I'm like, this is, wow.
There you go. Let's think how much smarter you are now.
Yeah, that the whole, like, because people ask me, like, are you ever were you ever get remarried? And I'm just like, I really don't think so.
Right, marriage is like kind of getting outdated.
And I didn't get the way my parents are married. They're still married. They're 52 years married, and I I always said, I didn't get married to get divorced, and it was really hard for me. It took 3 times for it to act, for finally, like, I was like, all right. And I mean, if you could see, like, any, like, history on me, it is public record, and it will show, like, 3 times it went into filing, and it got missed twice. And then the 3rd time, it says life interest with an attorney. And then that's where I was like, I'm done. I tried to save this. I tried to do everything I can. Did I want to get a divorce? No. Was it? It was like a death. But I thought,
you can get that record suppressed.
I want that off of there. It's just,
you can get it suppressed. You can go to an attorney. You can get it suppressed. You're going to need to come up with a reason, but you can get it suppressed when it's sealed.
well, because people
Probably cost you $500, but if it bothers you, it's worth it.
make it go away. Yeah, because people have come back to me and say, why is it on there 3 times? I'm like, oh, so embarrassing. And so
I wouldn't give 2 shits. None of their business. I'm still married. I haven't lived with my wife since 1988. With some guy in Florida at my house, which I don't really care about. I would say most of it's my problem. I just wasn't really into it, to tell you the truth. If you met my wife, you'd think I was crazy for leaving her, which I would probably agree with. I knew early on. I got an ultimatum, and I thought, yeah, there's no way it's going to get better than this. It's the old adage, you don't want them, but you don't want anybody else having them. So I did. I don't really regret it even. I mean, the reason we haven't gotten married is we own a pretty big place down there, and she could never get financing on her own. And she likes it there, so I'm not going to be a dick about it. So she can't, and I got insurance through her work all these years. Well, I don't need it now because I get Medicare. So if I was an asshole, I could, say, hey, I want to get divorced. But I talked to her from here and there. I just bought her a water pick the other day. I mean, I talked to her probably twice a month. But believe me, the love's lost. It really wasn't there to begin with, to be honest with you. Like I said, I got an ultimatum. And I knew I wasn't going to get another opportunity like that, so I went with it.
well, I mean, it's good that at least you can talk on civil terms.
Yeah, no, I'm great, honestly. I mean, it's over when I know she's got a living boyfriend. It doesn't bother me. Crazy as it sounds, I think that's what started my 10-year decline. I found out about that accidentally. And even though if she'd have said, let's get back together, I wouldn't have wanted to do it. It drove me fucking crazy. It did. And I didn't want to get back with her. That shows you how mental illness works. Stupid, man. I painted myself into a corner. I didn't want her. I didn't want to get back with her, and that bothered me. It didn't get worse. It just slowly drove me nuts.
I completely understand with that.
I'm not shooting you. I've been down there before. You're not going to believe this. I've been down there and seen her before. And, just didn't say anything. I had weirdo parents too, so I mean, I'm a kind of a different guy. I'm glad I'm older now because this shit drove me nuts when I was young. Now I know, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the way it is to the end, which I'm fine with. I'm glad I'm like in a happier place, but I used to be the most jealous, crazy son of a bitch you'd ever meet in your life. Honestly, God, man. It's nuts. Like depression, anxiety. I mean, there's a huge genetic component, and there's not much you can do about that. Just like your brother being the alcoholic. You can, dull the edges and do this and do that. And I found as I've gotten older, it's gotten better. And I'd like to blame it on something, but it didn't. I think it's just by virtue of getting older and your emotions kind of get worn down. That's why when you see people that get older, I remember when I was younger and I was thinking, God, if your wife died, do you think you'd be going out getting new girlfriends and stuff? And I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. I think the whole thing, I really 100% believe this, is hormone based. When you're young and your hormones are high, you convert that into all sorts of shit. Love, can't wait to be with them. Shit, I'd drive 1,000 miles in a snowstorm when I was in college. Not anymore. I'd like to say I got smart, but it's not what it is. I don't have the same hormones now as I did when I was in. So in a weird way, life is a lot better. So my point is, getting older, don't embrace it. There's good parts to it.
Yeah, as time has gone by, like I
Unless, here's what'll get you. And lucky, I'm not religious, but if I was, I'd say I was blessed. The one thing that I never have got is lonely. It's just not in my plan. I think that's what gets people into trouble. If you're lonely, you'll get hooked up with all sorts of people.
and kind of like what's going on with Rich.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, I kind of feel sorry for him. I mean, I think he's 50 or something, isn't he?
I don't know.
The other guy, the rich guy in California, he's 72.
I think I don't know. And she's.
The rich guy in California told me his dream is to have Sharon move out there, and he'd even pay to have her mother move out there.
Oh boy. And I shouldn't say that about her, but.
I know what you're going to say. You don't need to say it. I know. But here's the thing. I mean, I've been around long enough to think that if this guy is doing this based on a girl he saw on an interview on YouTube, he's done everything he could and nothing worked. So he's actually lowered the bar to where he's surfing the internet, getting attracted to women 30 years younger than him, thinking there's a chance when there isn't. That's not a good place to be at 72.
No, I feel bad for the man.
Yeah, and I know a couple older guys that got these mail order brides. I joke about it, but there's a screw loose with them too. I mean, there really is. There's got to be something wrong with an older man to want to have like a 25-year-old Asian woman around. That just screams like weird to me. If I get to pull somebody's chain or piss them off, I'll mention it. I thought maybe I would just get a mail order bride. She can cook and clean. I can just do my own thing. That really ticks people off. I'll use it once in a while to pull a chain, but I think it's weird. I think there's something really off. You're doing a real disservice to a young woman by doing that kind of shit. And she's really selling herself out for security, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
No, it's sad.
It's a reality. It's true too.
I think that a lot too about Melania, which I don't think she's attractive at all. Melania Trump. Actually, she looks like someone to me like she used to have a dick. I mean, there's just something off there. But I look at her, and there can't be. She's got to just dread going to bed with him every night. I bet she just gets like shivers up her spine. But she went with a lifestyle, and she pays a huge price for that. There's a real pretty girl that's from Saline, Michigan, Lisa Bonder, Bonder. You can look her up. Gorgeous, tennis pro, never made it to the top, but made a living doing it. Kirk Kerkorian, he just died about 5 years ago, a 90-year-old billionaire. He actually wooed her away, and she bit the poison apple and married this old pervert, and it just ruined her life. She ended up getting pregnant by her part-time tennis instructor. Why wouldn't she? Good-looking guy, her age, it was a legitimate romance. And Kirk Kerkorian had a fit, and they got divorced, and blah, blah, blah. But it just goes to show you, when you sell out for money, you'll ruin your life. And Lisa Bonder is a perfect example of it. She had everything. She was from Saline, Michigan.
I'll look that up.
Yeah. Yeah, sad.
Yeah. It is sad. It's really sad.
Well, hang in there and keep your eyes open, but be careful. Believe me, I've seen this. I'm an expert at this bullshit.
I would be like, I do know that Rich is debating. He said he was debating whether of commenting on one of your videos to try to get your attention to talk to him. And he's like, but I don't know if I should put it out there like that. Like, hey, call Sharon. And I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't put that on his video, Rich.
Yeah, and I text her back, say, hey, I'm busy, I'm doing something. Can't do it. Good luck.
Gonna stir, like, some people, that's gonna draw all kinds of attention, and then things are going to get stirred up. And I mean, if he doesn't see that right away and deletes it, I just,
And for all we know, there's a possibility Rich is married.
yeah, that's another thought. There's another reason maybe he's not bringing her back. Who knows?
Yeah, right.
I don't know. You never really know. And you know, like a lot of people, here's what people tend to think that I'm still technically married because my dumb ass has not gone. I haven't changed my name. When I got divorced, my lawyer didn't bring it up. I didn't think of it. I had everything else going on in my mind, but that he never even mentioned it. Well, now I have to go. I still legally have my married name, so it gets people so confused.
Yeah.
It's something that I have to take care of. But there's so many things.
Yeah, you gotta go. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
So I've had the name for over 20 years.
Yeah.
So but I haven't. So and everyone's like, what? And because I never had kids with them, and everyone's like, what is going on? What? Like it just question mark comes up above, like why? And I'm like, I will do it. I mean, I will. I have not gone to the courthouse. I have to go to Social Security. It's so much.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
It'll happen. It will eventually. But it does. It throws people through a loop. People don't know what to call me half the time. They're like, but what is your last name? I'm like, oh boy, because that's another reason I shut down Facebook because people are like, is your last? Because everyone from the Hilton that's known me for 20 years, they think Hoover, and then on my Facebook, it's not. I don't have to put that because it's not. I put my maiden name.
Right.
So it's something I question with myself. Like, did you get on this? Like,
It doesn't matter.
it kind of like just kind of like even saying the name. I'm just kind of what is it? It doesn't even faze me.
Yeah, I don't give a shit either.
It's like
I remember when things weren't so good. I remember telling my wife, "I want you to take that reed off your stuff. It's too embarrassing." When she using my name.
And she well, he never said anything, but
He can't do shit. It's legit. It's a married legal name.
and I don't even know if he even knows.
Do you know the new wife?
I don't know her personally, and I thought, I contemplated because when I found out he got remarried and everything, it hit me, and even though I didn't want to,
Isn't that crazy?
it did hit me like I'm like, I could feel myself spiraling a little bit, and I'm like, but I wanted to be done, and I was done, but it still hit me.
Well, I get it. I mean, marriage is a big deal. You go full circle. You go from like really good days to like get the hell out of here. It'd take a toll on anybody.
I contemplated whether do I warn her because
No, don't.
and then I thought about it and I thought, you know what? If I do, she's not going to listen to one word.
Not at the beginning.
And I'm like, she'll learn. She'll find out what he's. I mean she'll learn, and she has because there's it was his mugshot was on.
What are you getting nailed for?
Domestic battery.
With her?
Yeah.
No kidding.
A felony because.
Wow. Did it stick?
Well, here's the thing. He has money, and he went to it cost $5,000 to get him out because for him to bail himself out. I will look, and I looked, and I saw what the bail was, and it was $5,000. And then to get a lawyer,
You probably only had to post 5% of 500. Unless it was 50,000, then you would have had to come up with $5,000.
he's been arrested so many times for domestic.
Really?
And then for battery too. In my house, when we were married, it scared the living. Oh my gosh! The police came here. The neighbors called the police, and he wasn't expecting an occupant door, and he opened the door of the police department and just laid into the police. I mean, literally just shoved them, like, get off my property. And so he got, charges for assaulting.
Oh my God, no kidding.
It was just one charge after the other, and I'm like,
what's he do for a job?
Well, he works for an oil company.
No, he probably don't give a shit.
And all the felonies, they were dismissed because the lawyer got them dropped. So those, you can still see. I mean, I can look up. I can see the charges and like look through the case and like see how everything played out. But it's like it got dismissed. I mean, he did get arrested, and I did see the mugshots, and I witnessed here in the living room where, the furniture was being flipped upside down. I mean, it took 3 officers to get him down, and they sprayed him. And I just thought, you know what? And then he got assigned to anger management, and he had to go. It was court ordered, and he would come home with T-shirts on saying, "I flunked anger management," and I thought, oh my gosh, so he was taking it as a joke, and then it never changed. His temper just escalated and escalated and escalated, and I'm like, yeah, this is not changing. The older I get, I can't live like this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I finally just said, you know what, I can't. I can't live like I'm gonna get killed.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't wish that on her, but that's her problem, and I don't have to deal with it because.
And you don't run into him or anything.
Nope. He decided to show up here at my house last winter, and I said, you know what? And he became like physically aggressive, and I have security cameras on the house, and it was on camera, and I didn't call the police. But then I thought about it, and you know what? I'm like, this is not the stop. He can't think this is okay. Because he followed me. He must have followed my track. I take the same path from home to work, and he must have been sitting at the park because he pulled right up my driveway the same time I got home from work. And I'm like, how did he time that out? And I'm like, I got to take different paths home. So, and he was having problems with his wife, and I said, no, this is not, you're not going to really make a point that you're not, if this is done. I mean, this is 2021, and this has been going on since 1999. And I said, so I'm just going to I'm going to go to the judge and ask.
Training order?
Yep. And it got delivered to his house, right into his wife's hands. So.
Good.
And I've now heard a peep, and I don't think I haven't heard a peep, and it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he'll do that again. I really, because now he had to answer to her.
That's right. Yep.
So I'm like, you're not, because he's not coming over here because he wants to make amends. He's coming over to try to, and even if he did try to make amends, I'd be foolish to go back into that. I mean, he was just with her within the last year arrested. Mm-hmm. And he's got a lawsuit on him from the neighbor that he lives by now for beating his neighbor up.
Yeah, he sounds like a kook.
So I thought, I gotta get this. No. I'd rather be alone than deal with that. I'm not, And I'm okay. I would come to the acceptance with him being married. I'm fine with it now. I'm like, at first, when I first found out, it didn't hit me very well. Like, no. But now I'm like, whatever, that's her problem. I feel like I did the right thing. For the longest time, I thought, is it me? Am I the one that's causing this, violent, aggressive? But no, I mean, now I'm seeing that she's being beat up and he's going to jail and she's got kids and he's doing it in front of her kids, which puts it as a felony. And thankfully, there were no kids brought into that because, yeah. But I knew it along the lines where I thought, if he's gonna do this to me, he's gonna do this to a kid, and this girl's cool enough as it is. I'm like, it's not happening. This is. I was like, I couldn't do that to a kid. I thought, I can't even believe I'm letting this happen to myself. But I kept saying, like, oh, it's gonna change. It just doesn't. So I was like, yeah.
You still thinking of getting a condo?
Yeah, actually, because right now, I got my property taxes in the mail.
They go up?
It did. And I was like,
appeal them.
I called the courthouse and I said, hey, could you kind of help me understand what's going on with what the high jump is with my property taxes? And the guy went over it. And I said, because, one time they had said I had a swimming pool here. And I'm like, I don't have a swimming pool. So they had to come out and take pictures. And for the longest time, they had, and I didn't help it, they had a swimming pool. And I don't have a swimming pool. I'm like, so yeah, they came out, took pictures, and
the swimming pool will really nail your taxes.
And they were. I'm like, oh, so you're going to credit me back for the years that I didn't notice that? And they said no, just from moving forward. Well,
how many years did they do that?
Oh, I'm so embarrassed. It was quite a few.
I talked to a lawyer about it.
So I asked them this time, when I called, I just made this call recently. I said, are you sure you don't have a swimming pool added on there? Because I haven't, done anything, no changes, nothing. So what's the reasoning behind this? And he said, the houses are up in value right now because, houses are selling crazy.
It's like that everywhere. It's nuts.
So he says, I said, oh, so in other words, you're telling me I could probably sell my house for prices for what it's worth right now? And he said, yeah, you probably could. He goes, but the problem is, where are you going to go? And John was like, and my brother has a condo and he's not living in it. He's living with my parents because he can't take care of himself. But I was looking at his property taxes and looking at, what his HOA fees are and what he pays for his condo and his HOA fees. You got that late HOA or I get it backwards sometimes, but
homeowners association.
Yeah, I was like, and but anyways, I mean, what he pays for that, for both the taxes, the property taxes, and the HOA is
a lot.
It calculates what I'm paying for my property taxes, so it evens out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, with the yard work, which, and then the snow removal and keeping up on everything, I'm like, yeah, a condo is kind of seeming more appealing to me at this point. Like, and I don't know. I have been looking and constantly.
The problem is the prices are so high on this stuff now.
Yeah.
Well, you got in on the good old days.
And my brother, when he got his condo, I know, like, he didn't, like, what it's valued at right now, it's what he paid is nowhere, and it's a lot less.
Really?
Yeah.
Where is it, in Gary or something?
No, it's in Valparaiso. It's a nice condo too. It's very nice, and But when he bought it, I don't know, like, he got a really good price on it. But now, like, they want, I mean, there's other condos over in that, I was looking at their prices of the condos. There are other ones over there for sale, and they're, up in about 165,000. And I'm like, no.
Did you get into your house at a pretty good price?
I did. I built in 1999. I built this house.
Oh, I gotta get that good a deal again. But you can get that stuff farmed out pretty cheap.
And I did think about that today.
I mean, do you have a big yard?
No, it's a small yard.
No, keep it. Because if you don't have a big, giant ass place, you can do it reasonably. Even if you don't feel like doing it, just pay to have a landscaping thing to it.
And that crossed my mind today, because I went outside and the grass is starting to come up, and everything's blooming, and I'm like,
No, you got a good deal. You're not going to get that good of value again, and it's already doubled. You're going to pay the double price to get into a condo, and you're never going to be able to go back. If you think this condo life sucks, when you go to try back, you're going to think this is bullshit, man. I'm going to have payments till I'm 90.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. When he said that at the courthouse, I thought, no. I started looking, and I have been looking, and I just.
If you don't, do you? How much outside maintenance do you have?
It's really not that much.
You'll be coming up on a roof in the next 5 or 10 years.
That's another thing too.
And windows.
I'm like, yeah, when that comes.
But still, the way your property is appreciated, see, if you don't plan on moving, it doesn't matter what the current value is. But to get back into what you already have, it'd blow your mind to see what they want for it. See, most states have a restriction on how much your property tax can go up. Then Indiana is a strange state. I don't know if they do or not. In Michigan, you can only raise it 1.5% a year, which doesn't even keep up with inflation, which is good. It's also why they're always looking for money, because of that deal.
I would hope Indiana would.
You see how much building, go just for shits and giggles, look and see what it would cost you to build a house now, like you have. It'd blow your damn mind. Everything's tripled because of COVID.
Oh yeah, I've never go through the process of building.
No, it's a pain in the ass. I know.
Wow, that was a nightmare.
No, you got in on the good old days. If this was 1980, I'd tell you to do it. But man, you're way ahead of the game where you're at. And a roof's not that bad anyway.
No, I don't. Knock on wood. The only thing that I was concerned with, the furnace.
Yeah, furnaces aren't that much. They're not.
And just because I worry like that, I just price them out, even though there's, everything's okay. I still just price it out because I get worried. Well, what if? I have all these what ifs go through my head.
No, the furnaces aren't that bad. They're not. You could get a whole new, redo everything for $2,000, the worst scenario. And you've already had this furnace for, 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a good chance they could repair it. You don't need a complete replacement, so.
And here's where the kick was my dad too, where he used to be able to do everything, and I always was able, to he had the experience with, he was knowledgeable with all of that. Now, I have a crawl space and my sump pump, there's a flood down there, and I called him. He came out and he got down there and he got out and he says, Amy, and he fixed it, but he says, I can't do that anymore. My back. I'm like, it's okay, Dad. It's all right. And then.
But see, if in the worst scenario, the way your property is appreciated since you own it, you could get a home equity loan, which is tax deductible. So if you really got tanked, like let's say you needed the worst scenario, a furnace and a roof and windows, you can get a home equity loan. The interest is deductible, and you're in way cheaper than if you had to start all over. It's not like the old days. Building new now is like cost prohibitive. I got friends of mine building a house in Traverse City right now, and I tried talking them out of it. They told me yesterday they wish they'd listened to me. Building a new place is like crazy now. Expensive. And you got a nice place. You built it, so you built it like you wanted it. You'll never get that again and make it affordable. You got a good deal.
Yeah, and it's good for, I mean, it's got the fenced in backyard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, so, I mean, and I'm thinking, she's a quiet dog, so, you know, even, there's so much, but I think like what you're saying, because today I was contemplating in my mind, I'm like, maybe I could find, you know, somebody to come out and kind of help, like just pay, like take into consideration. I mean, if I did
How to do like professional photography. I felt like, maybe I'll just see if I can live off the land. And even
what do you think your credit card will go?
Detroit, rather than live in Detroit, It was a lot of, somebody will get me to like, there's a bitch to poo. You could, you know, I'm petty, but it's really technically, I knew when you sent it that I'd never got a text from an Amy before. And then get down around French Lick. Christ. I had people walk up to me all the time. You see, I don't have as much, I don't really care about it, but I would have a lot more subscribers if I just stuck to interviews, but I don't chase the money like that. I know what sells. Blonde-haired, blue-eyed, white, heroin-addicted prostitutes. If it was a money deal, that's all I'd look for, and that's all I'd interview. That's what people like to watch. Black girls, forget it. But black males, no way. Overweight people, no. Like the cute girl that they want to save, they fall in love with them. 90% of my videos, nobody gives a shit about. Daisy, hamburgers, hot dogs, nachos. Like today, I spent 50 minutes videotaping the buds of the trees that are blooming in the park that I go to. I may get like 300 videos, it's nothing. 300 views. People want to see the prostitution videos. It's easy. You can figure this out. YouTube lets you know what sells, how old people are, where they're from, what to do. I ignore all of it. I mean, if this was a money grab, I would, like I said, all I would do is drive around the country, not mess around with any of this other shit, and interview white prostitutes with drug problems. That's what sells. Nuts. You learn a lot on YouTube. You learn about that racism is alive and well, and how much looks matter. Big time.
It is. So the officer, was he a black?
Yeah.
Indiana?
Yeah, black. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So I was like, when you had mentioned it might, like the racist thing, I thought, well, maybe he was a black officer.
Yeah, definitely. Indiana law enforcement doesn't pay anything either. The state troopers in that state make nothing. I mean, it's not like most states.
I know, like, well, when I was looking up the officer, here in Chesterton, the chief that got demoted, and I typed in his name, and his like it goes through his history now. Like that was never showing up before, but now I don't know.
There's another guy there that lives there though, with the same name that's a little older.
You're right.
Yeah.
There's two.
Yeah, that's right. It's weird, isn't it?
Come to find out, there are two. There's a Nick Brown that works for the Porter County Sheriff's Department, and then there's this Nick Brown that works for the Chesterton Police Department, and I was so confused by that.
Yeah, no, the first time we talked or communicated, I ran the profile on the wrong guy. And then I, figured it out. I think I asked you a question. I thought, well, this can't be him. And sure as shit, it wasn't. There were two of them.
There is, and my friend, she's dating somebody in law enforcement. I said, hey, can you? Is there I said, can you ask him, like, if he knows any, like criminal history on Nick Brown? And
Yeah, there isn't one.
and she said, the way she was describing what he was saying, I'm like, are we talking about the same Nick Brown? And she's like, you know what? No, because this Nick Brown that her boyfriend knows works for Porter County. I'm like, well, no, he doesn't work for Porter County.
Right. And he worked like in a couple places in Illinois. I forgot how I figured out that it was the wrong one, but yeah, I've had that happen before.
And his address, I mean,
Right.
I know that's his parents' address.
Right, yeah, right, yeah.
He bounces from place to place to place to place. And I'm like, I honestly, at this point, I don't even know where he lives. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's super, super secretive. And I said, just in a roundabout way, I said, so I sent you a Christmas card this year, but I don't happen to know your address. He's like, well, you could just hand it to me.
Is he married?
He's not married, but he also claims he doesn't have a girlfriend, but he's not engaged. I don't trust him though.
Right. Your boss seems like a flake too.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You know, a lot of times when people first get a hold of me, I'll like check Google or something. I did that with you. Because, I've been enough, 9 out of 10 times it's a wacko stalker. And when I searched that, I knew you worked for Hilton and it was down there around Chesterton.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like they got a couple bull dykes working there that got awards.
If you Google my name, you probably will.
I did, yeah. I ran a database report on you. I mean, I knew where you lived and your maiden name and all that kind of bullshit. Just to make sure you weren't Laura. That's why I did it. And it was after a while. It's not like I run them on everyone that says hello. But I thought I want to make sure this girl isn't a nut job.
Nope. I was like, and then when I was texting you today, I was like, yeah,
No, believe me, that's how I treat them all. That's why. See, because when you sent me that and you said it's Amy, I knew when you sent it that I'd never got a text from an Amy before. And then I got thinking about it. It's like Amy. It's like, I wonder if that's an Amy number. I know what your maiden name is or your married name. I mean, I ran a thing on it, where your parents live, all that bullshit. And then I thought, this girl's legit. So I just didn't check into it. But I knew what the score was earlier. I think there's one photo of you, and it looks like it was taken at a health club, maybe. And the rest of the Amy Hoovers are like somebody else.
there's all. I think
If you Google, because if you look at your avatar, that I know that's you, and there's one older picture of you later, and it looks like you were at a health club or like some fitness thing or some shit like that. And I'm pretty sure that's you. And I checked out just to make sure I wasn't having some crazy talk to me.
Yeah,
But when I did the you get those hospitality awards for Hilton. Those bull dykes got rewards, but you never came up, and it showed you were like a supervisor for, I don't know, for like desk thing or something. I mean, I knew you were legit, but there weren't any recent pictures other than that health club kind of looking picture.
yeah, the rise.
Amy Dunn, that's what it was. Dunn.
That is my main.
Oh yeah, right. I checked that one too. That comes up on your report. The same report that I ran on the cop, I ran on you.
Yeah.
So once I knew it was like legit, there is a real person, I thought I didn't really check into it anymore.
Yeah, I'm legit. And I was just like, he probably, after like putting like pieces of the craziness on the Facebook, I was thinking he might like have his doubts about me.
Yeah, I always do, man. Believe me, I err on the cautious side.
And I don't blame you after I'm just, wow.
I used to talk to Tiffany, but she just got a little outsider. I mean, I don't pull any punches with people. I don't talk behind their back. And I emailed her about a month ago and said, you know what? I don't want to have any relationship with you. I don't want to contact you. I'm not going to badmouth you to people, but I'm not returning your calls. I don't want any more texts from you. Let's just go our separate ways. And I know it hurt her feelings because she emailed some people, but that's how I deal with people, man. I don't want any bullshit.
There's lack of trust, drama.
Yeah, just weird. And Tiffany's a bright lady. I mean, she's a little bit full of shit, but by and large, pretty intelligent. That was attractive. Single parent, living out there. She tries to sell herself as being the successful entrepreneur. It's not true. Her grandfather was rich, and it got funneled down to her mother, and that funds her lifestyle. She hasn't worked in forever. And she has nothing else to do, and she gets on and she intermingles with these crazies. But I just got to the point where I didn't want to do it anymore. Not at all.
Yeah, I don't blame you with the.
Yeah.
You just saw it's hard.
No, I mean, there are people out there, they devote their lives to causing trouble on here.
It's noticeable, like, especially one. I can't figure out. Like, I think I'm too new. Like, I think I'm too new to the who. Like, I don't know if this stuff was going on before.
Yeah, once they see you're going on and you're making nice comments on my videos, that's enough for these lunatics.
Well, and I wonder, because my first thought was, I was like, when I got that comment on I saw the notification.
Yeah.
That's a little strange. I haven't done any video activity, and all of a sudden I get this mean one.
Yeah, I want to make you feel bad.
And I'm thinking, only, like, I don't do much on YouTube, and the only person, or I only comment really on yours, so it's kind of like, if anybody, I've made, on Sharon's lives lately, I had some, interaction, but I want to say that was before Sharon's live. I'm not sure, but it was a recent, and I got to let it go. But when I saw that, I was like, but overreacted,
No, but maybe, because like I said, I've banned that same ID 3 times over 10 years. So I'm not sure if it's a kid or an adult or what.
Not either. And then all of a sudden, the weirdest thing is, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to screenshot this and send this to you again, because you're going to think, oh my gosh, she's still dwelling on this. But
no, if you're a depressive personality, you dwell on a lot. I get it.
I got that same day a nice comment from the M and J, and then it has like and like YG, maybe, if I can remember correctly. I had made a nice comment on the video the exact same day.
Yeah, crazy.
I was like, how weird is that?
Yeah, no, crazy. Yeah, nut jobs.
So it was just so ironic. I was like, what are the chances of that?
Right.
And then I'm thinking, why would anybody want to say, come to my channel and say M and J?
Yeah, because they're nuts. It's not exactly easy to, for all the, good things about YouTube, it's not exactly easy to find somebody on YouTube. A few years ago, you used to be able to click on the avatar and it'd take you right to their channel, but they don't do that anymore. So even if I'm looking for you sometimes, shit, I could go spend an hour and I still can't find you. It's a pain in the ass. Facebook's kind of like that too. You'll know somebody and you know their name, you know where they're at, you know what name they're using, you still can't find their damn thing.
It's true.
Yeah, I know.
I learned with that, what was his name? he puts it under chosen one.
Oh, that nitty. He's a moron.
I look now, so I don't click on it. The circle.
Yeah.
You have a greyhound dog.
Yeah, right, yeah.
If it's not the greyhound dog, then I'm like, that's not him.
I just got a thing the other day from YouTube where these goddamn crazy terrorist Arabs were using so once in a while I'll go into a Catholic church and video the stained glass. They were using my videotapes and their like hate America things. And YouTube told me about it, and I got their channel canceled. All YouTube wanted from me is to verify that those were my videos.
Holy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like worldwide now.
Holy, that's mind.
Yeah, I get about 50 copyright infringements a month where people will be using my videos for bullshit. I just got Laura's channel canceled. That's about the third time. Yeah, it's nuts. YouTube lets you know. They match it through algorithms. I'll go in there and check, and like you got like 3 things you can do: warn them, revoke them, take off right now. And I got a pretty good track record because YouTube knows that there's no bullshit with me. Saying my video is one thing and it's another, and saying people are copying my videos when they're not. So I got a pretty good track record. So if they send me a notice and I acknowledge it, these people are toast.
Wow.
It's so crazy nuts. You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe the emails I get for people and stuff that want to like hang out and stuff. It's just so weird. I just told 2 really nice guys, man, look, you're a good guy. I like you. But, I got like my days are pretty much the same. And for me to get back to meet you for dinner takes me out of that. I always use the example, if it was Miss America in a bikini, I still wouldn't want to do it. I got my like daily plan, and don't take this personally, but no, I can't meet you for dinner. And there's so many older women out there that are lonely. It's crazy. And some of them I end up feeling sorry for, and I talk to them and stuff, and I always regret it, because I know they're like got nothing going on, and they like talking, but God, man, it bit me in the ass 90% of the time. You just get like needy.
Yeah, but you try to be nice sometimes to people, and then they just take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
And then you have this, oh my gosh.
Now, are you religious now?
I really believe in God.
Do you go to church?
Like, no, to be honest.
Okay. Did you used to?
Growing up, my mom, it's debatable in my mind if she's an atheist. My dad was Catholic. He grew up, went to Catholic school. So my grandmother, my dad's mom, didn't like my mom for a lot, but my mom to this day, I can't get a straight answer out of her.
Yeah, right.
Believe in God, or
are you close with your parents?
Yeah, I am, but I've been kind of distancing myself with this whole brother thing.
What'd your dad do for a living?
He worked at the U.S. Steel.
Did he really?
Mm-hmm. He retired from there, and then he opened his own small little mill.
Interesting.
And he said he was going to retire over and over and over, and we heard it for many, many years. He ended up selling his company not that long ago. So he's been retired now for a good, I'd say, good 5 years.
And what'd your mom do?
She didn't work that much. She worked at a bank as an accounting supervisor. But that was just a little part-time job. And for the most part, she's been a stay-at-home. You know, they have horses, and
Oh, they do. Where they live?
they live in Jackson Township. So if you're familiar with that area, it's like
There's a crazy lady. I'll tell you, 15 years ago, maybe long, yeah, about that. There's a crazy rich lady from Chicago that owns 20 acres out around there someplace. And she wants just animals to eat there and like live life. And I liked her at the beginning. I located some old heirs for her for free. I didn't know she was rich at the time. She's worth about $50 million. And she wants me to run her 20-acre thing for wildlife when she dies. But there's been just a couple instances where I think this lady's a kook, and I really don't want to have anything to do with her. So I've kind of avoided it, and I've kind of not responded to her last couple letters. But she's got some 20 acres down around there, like right around that like township area.
it's
Yeah.
be near them because they live out.
Her name is, you can look her up. Her name is Ava Barcelona.
I would.
And I'm on the 50-yard, she wants me to visit her. I haven't been to Chicago in 10 years. I thought about it for a while, but she made a couple comments about like depressed people that kind of turned me off. You know how it is. You can know somebody for a long time and they can make one comment. You think, you know what? I've kind of lost interest in this. And that's kind of where I went with her because she was just so ignorant about depression. And she sent me a couple letters and I haven't responded. Yeah, Ava Barcelona, look her up. She's got a shit ton of money. And I just really kind of don't want to get involved with her anymore. She's always bugging me to come visit her. She owns a nice place in Chicago and she's bought a bunch of lobster stuff in Cicero, Illinois, and owns that place down near you. I think it's another old, lonely woman. And the only way she can try to attract men is through money and promises down the road.
It's the name doesn't sound familiar, but they may know her.
Yeah, Ava Barcelona. Yep. It's like a little mini farm, but it's right down around there near you someplace. Where you could still have 20 acres. And she probably bought it for $100,000 20 years ago, and now it's worth $550. That kind of thing. And she doesn't ever want it developed.
I remember you mentioned that, and I didn't want to get too, I just was like.
I was cool with her for a while, but she was just so like anti-drug, anti-depression. It was just like, it just struck me as like super ignorant comments she made, and I just kind of got turned off and just quit responding to her. I got 2 letters from her at home I haven't opened.
I wonder. I'm trying to think of areas where, and when you first mentioned it, I wondered if it was my mom and dad have there's one neighbor, and there's no houses other than the one house next to them, and she is a single woman.
Yeah, this lady doesn't live there. She rents it. She owns a place like, north of downtown Chicago. But she just seems like I don't think the house is any big deal, but the property's worth stuff. Like she told me about she rented to these people and she went over there to visit and they had like a motorhome in the driveway and she thought it blocked the view. And I just kind of thought, well, this is just a controlling old nutty rich lady. So, there were a couple comments she made that made me think that, you know what? I was all for it for a while. But the more I got to know her, the less I wanted to have to do with her. You know how that goes.
Yes. So does she have animals living there now?
Just wild. They eat there and she goes and dumps corn off for them. Google her when you get a chance. Ava Barcelona. There's pictures of her on there.
Okay.
And she's always bugging me to come visit her. And I was all up for it for a while. But like I said, I haven't been, in Chicago since I left 10 years ago. And she made a couple comments about like depression, that like it's just the power of will and you don't need medication. I thought, you crazy old bitch. You know what you're talking about. And she kind of turned me off. So I just started ignoring her.
Yeah, some people, they just don't.
No, don't get it. No, no, right.
If they haven't been through
She looks
it,
at depression as a form of weakness. Yeah, just an old, I think what is she, Romanian, Hungarian, something like that. You know, just this old school, 80 hours a week working type. She's smart, as intelligent as hell. She writes well. She's no dummy. Worth a shit ton of money. But she wanted me to manage her estate when she died. I've done that twice for people. It's a pain in the ass.
because I can wonder if, like, if the family members come out or
She doesn't have any. Divorced. Yeah, just kind of on her own, like an estranged daughter that's a drug addict somewhere. And I was all for it. It's like, that's cool. Well, she wants to make sure, you know, the raccoons go out there and eat or whatever the hell they do, and the birds have something to eat. I'm fine with that. But the more it went on, the more it was like, this lady's nuts. Yeah. Crazy.
I have to look that way.
Yeah, Ava Barcelona. Yeah, there's stuff on her on the internet for sure. Now, do you have to work tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? What time do you go in?
I'm more of a night.
Yeah, that's how I am, yeah.
I've always been that way.
That's how I am, yeah, same way.
I,
What time do you start tomorrow?
3.
Oh, that's not bad. And you'll get off, what, 11?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I never know. Like the night auditor is late every single night. So it takes her 10 minutes to get out of the truck, 10 minutes to get from the time clock to the front desk. And I just try to keep my cool with her and not go off, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to keep people around.
Right, yeah. Now, when you go to Chicago, do you drive or you take the train?
I am a nervous wreck driving in Chicago.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
I would much rather take the train or someone else drive, to be honest.
Yeah, I believe it. You know, it's a bitch.
I remember when I first got my driver's license, because I grew up in the boonies in the middle of nowhere, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, this is easy, you know. I'm going to drive to Chicago. Whole nother world.
Oh, big time. You got to go through Atlanta, man. All these cities you're getting, it's like Birmingham, Memphis. I'll tell you another bitch, Cincinnati. Crazy. I tell you, that's how you'll know when you're getting older. When you're young and when you're familiar with an area, that's not a good test of like whether or not you're losing your ability as you get older. What you need to do is go to a new place where you've never been before and then evaluate yourself. I've driven my ass off my whole life, so there's really no new place for me. But if you're a new driver and you're kind of skittish, man, you want to avoid those places, especially Cincinnati and Atlanta. My God. This guy that I met through eBay, you know, this guy bailed me out. I had cash flow problems. I owned a bunch of shit, but I couldn't sell any of it. So I was like, I didn't have money.
Well, let me look for some new ones. Just bear with me. That's about it. There's only like 6 minutes left, and let me ship these out. Find you some more. Yeah, like so much of this.
Didn't have the address on it. Could you give me your address? I'm gonna mail it right. No, I don't. I don't have anything to do with it.
Let me know if you can hear this.
Hey, That pig wanted me to come visit her in Chattanooga. No fucking way.
If you go to her live for very
No, I don't. I don't have anything to do with that fat bitch.
I only went because Mari texted me this morning. So I just went to her fat fucking ass channel, and all she's doing is bitching that I'm monetized, that I get gifts and money, and her fat ass channel ain't growing, ain't monetized.
No, she's a fat pig.
She's very bitter about you. She's bitter that you took her off as a mod.
Fuck her.
She's pissed that you promote my channel.
She can suck my big 9-inch cock. Fucking fat whore.
It's clear she's jealous, and then she lied. She said that I put down people with piercings and tattoos. I said, I don't have any, but yet I'm shooting jealous. I did not put down people with piercings.
Told you I wasn't gonna edit it.
Yeah, don't let these, you gotta, I did the same thing, but you'll eventually get to where this shit won't bother you.
It don't really bother me. I think it's funny. I just left a bunch of choice words on her channel.
Yeah, don't though, because that gives them the satisfaction. No, but I wouldn't even, she's not worthy of a response.
You're right, I already did it. But
Sucking fat pig.
everybody in the chat was even like, oh, I do care. And like, the difference between me and
You hear this?
I never asked you. That's my shit in the bottom. That's it.
Stand around there, you couldn't go out, leave me.
And I'm not attracted enough.
I get it. But they keep, this had to get explained to me because I just,
Tighten so far up her ass. They're liking, bitch.
no, just ignore
You
her.
hear that okay? The
Tell her you give her a pair of your pants.
Calling me, said Maddie looks old. So she can't get mad that I said, get a life.
Pay attention, figure it out.
Oh, that's the,
That was kind of a lot of road noise. Let me find a better one. We'll find a better one. You can hear it on this end better than you can hear it. There's a lot of rumbling. It's with this new phone, it's not the same. I can clean that up later. There are programs, I just haven't done it here. I didn't think I'd ever have to use these, to tell you the truth. The thing about when these are categorized, you don't know what's what.
825 is a fucking stalking fucking lunatic. So I fucking told her, I don't want you fucking calling me. Don't come up here, nothing. So I blocked her and banned her. So last night at 11 o'clock, this fucking bitch damn near runs me over in West Branch. She drove 320 miles to give me a piece of her mind. She's a fucking stalking lunatic. I should have called the cops, but I didn't. But here's the reason I'm calling you. She told me that fucking Whisper, or whatever the fuck his name is, your buddy, was coming on to her, and she's going to try and get a hold of his wife and show her where he sent his phone number and asked her to call. So I'm warning you, this fucking broad is fucking off the charts nuts. I've got 13 hours of recorded conversation with her if I need it. So, and it's perfectly legal to do. You only need one party consent in Michigan. And I also...
They were on there going back and forth about the horses.
Yeah, so I don't want to divulge any name about that guy. But that gives you an idea. I was tipping people off that this lunatic would try and ruin their life over just something stupid. But he's a good guy. Like I said, somebody tells me something in confidence, it's going to stay that way. But when I'm saving my own ass about people that may believe some of this stuff, you need to know what these conversations were like. If you don't, you can turn it off.
There's the damn thing got lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got lost or something happened to it.
Yeah, you know, no, I mean, for all we know, he's lost 30 cats. Yeah, you just don't know, you know what I mean? She doesn't need any more negative experiences, you know what I mean?
I agree. I agree with you 100%.
And I just hope.
Now that's a guy that's getting fleeced by Sharon, but he's a pretty good guy and didn't do anything wrong, so I'm not going to play that.
One time to the next.
Yeah.
But no problem on that thing. How come you're looking at Auburn Hills instead of around?
That's somebody that went to drug rehab. I won't bore you with searching for these. I should have had them lined up. Let me just look here. I've got just tons of these. Try here.
Offering Spectrum Mobile. This call may be recorded for quality and security purposes.
You're telling me I'm the one doing the recording. See, I don't bother looking at which ones I'll need and which ones I don't. I just cut and paste the whole file. So, you know, I'm paying bills and ordering porn.
Yeah, that's that little town of Manton.
Yeah.
That's where,
She talks about that in one of the interviews I did with her.
yeah. So, I mean, we were just small town. My parents did foster care and they adopted.
That is the sister of one of the girls that I interviewed that's trying to get her, locate her sister. She's cool too. I'll look through these for a few minutes, but I don't want to keep you holding on this bullshit. I'll find them later and mark them. But I am going to play some more of them today. I got just tons of these. And this is just the file. This is just a file. One file.
It's not worth owning the goddamn thing if you've got to pay teenagers $17 an hour to show up and a $6,000 bonus to work the whole summer like they're doing this year in Traverse City. It's nuts.
Everywhere I was driving today, I saw help wanted, help wanted, help wanted everywhere. Like it's.
For a while there, you know, I couldn't sell. The dog came up missing again and somebody returned it. And that was the dog we were dumb enough to adopt to a fucking lowlife like you. The chip would make sure it didn't happen again. Yeah, what fuck would happen a lot. Get these fucking dogs, you know, we got a dog catcher out there, you bring it back, it's like, that dog looks familiar, scan it, sure as fucking shit. We adopted this to Joe Fuckhead 6 months ago, and he didn't even report it missing here. Yeah, man, this is fucking terrible.
That's when I was on the Humane Society.
Thank God pit bulls have come around. I went to court over those. He's a better looking one. The other one had kind of like, they didn't meet confirmation standards, so I got them cheap. I think I got them for $200 each or something. Almost impossible to housebreak. Just pissing me out a speck of dust out of it. It's hard to believe driving a van like I do. Certain shit I'm a fanatic about. My computers, my camera equipment, and my paint. Whenever I redo something, I could never do it for a living because where I kept my mini.
I am, and definitely, I'll say maybe it keeps you on track a little bit from you.
I actually offered to paint her house for her, inside of her house, because she didn't want to do it, because I knew she was having troubles with depression.
Feeling,
Yeah.
No, it won't come out. I was pretty close to my uncle, and yeah.
At first, you're gonna freak out.
Well, yeah, and it's just like what he said it when I got my property taxes. I was like, what? Literally, after 2 hours after I left the session, he told me, I don't want you picking up the phone to them. I don't want you answering their calls. He goes, I'm
Yeah,
your
that's true.
phone. I said so. And I'm like, and I feel so bad. Like, she's probably, what the heck? Where the hell is he not?
It's not really that, Jake.
But I don't know. I guess today was probably one of my better days I've had in a long time.
Mhm.
Business that
I've kind of pushed stuff
you
aside.
don't like it. get
Fucking
lost.
A, stay away from 'em. My fucking family up here is like them. That's why I haven't talked to any of them in 5 years. Fucking A, right?
It's like a toxic.
I'm not gonna go to their funeral either. I didn't go to my dad's.
Well, I bet you if I dropped dead on the floor in that office, they walk right
No,
over.
they would. Why don't you? I still think you should get that resume together and look for. You need to get the fuck out of there, man. Even if you got to take that goddamn thing downtown, just start.
Hey, if we don't owe you the purpose or explanation for anything. If you don't like it, go somewhere else.
Start new. They'll pay you good too, someplace. Well, just be straight with them while you left.
Yes, it is toxic.
Really? Yeah, it is, man. It's part of your damn problems. You got this fucking kook calling you all the time. You need someone like normal that's gonna like help you.
I'm gonna tell you something between.
No, I know she's nuts already from what you told me.
She had me hunting down Benzo.
Yeah, fuck that.
And I'm like, I can't do this.
No, you get arrested.
You hear this?
She's something else. Hang on there, and what's going on with them, and funny enough, my boss calls me literally after 2 hours after I left the session. He told me, "I don't want you picking up the phone.
Oh, good,
Yeah.
good.
I don't want you answering their calls." He goes,
Yeah,
"I'm
that's
here
true.
now." I said so, and I'm like, and I feel so bad. Like, she's probably, what the heck? Why the hell is he not responding? But I don't know. I guess today was probably one of my better days I've had in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of pushed stuff aside.
Fucking A, stay away from 'em. My fucking family up here is like them. That's why I haven't talked to any of them in 5 years. Fucking A, right?
It's like a toxic.
I'm not gonna go to their funeral either. I didn't go to my dad's.
Well, I bet you if I dropped dead on the floor in that office, they walk right
No,
over.
they would. Why don't you? I still think you should get that resume together and look for. You need to get the fuck out of there, man. Even if you got to take that goddamn thing downtown, just start new. They'll pay you good too, someplace. Well, just be straight with them while you left.
Yes, it is toxic.
Really? Yeah, it is, man. It's part of your damn problems. You got this fucking kook calling you all the time. You need someone like normal that's gonna like help you.
I'm gonna tell you something between.
No, I know she's nuts already from what you told me.
She had me hunting down Benzo.
Yeah, fuck that.
And I'm like, I can't do this.
No, you get arrested.
She's something else. She truly is.
Yeah, she's not. I mean, it's too bad she's got these problems. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but her problems are going to be your problems, which is why I got rid of Sharon.
It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, once it's crosses, I told you she was knocking on my hotel room one night.
I know.
Yeah, yeah, right. That was the thing. Plus, they showed it to me on video.
What?
Yeah, that she was out there. Yeah, I don't want that kind of relationship with these people, especially her. You know, if Tassie or Becky or Amber did that shit, I'd open the door and rent them a room. Not that fucking kook. I didn't like her from the beginning, to be honest with you. You know, you're always going to have a personal element. And I never really cared for Sharon. And the big thing that I didn't like about her, you know, she thinks that because I think I'm an older guy, like I told Fatso, fucking Miss
It's
Piggy
a
Bobbles.
recording.
You think I'm a nice looking guy? I ain't gonna fucking do you any good. Flirting either.
I read.
Yeah, not fucking happening, man.
I
Yeah,
read.
she expected a free pass for that.
Tom just puts it out there like it is.
Fuck that.
I read that.
Get out of here, Joe. You're a
And I was
weirdo.
like, I can't believe that she actually, because I was like, I wasn't kidding. I was like, should I have sent him that message?
Now, a couple other people sent me that too.
I'll let you
I
hear
tell
the
them
end of
quit
this
sending
and
it.
then I'll call it a day.
I need to get some of these other. Yeah, I had to get some of these other moderators asses and tell them quit sending me this fucking bullshit. Or I'm gonna block you.
Yeah, I won't be. I won't.
No, you won't, but I told them, I do not care about this. You know?
My channel's just no drama. It's gonna be
Her channel's no drama, she says.
I or did some videos today.
Yeah, more. It's fun doing videos. Plus, it's fun to go back. I mean, I started my thing just to go back and look at things that I did and stuff. I never thought it even had. That's why I named it that dumbass name. I wasn't even chosen one means nothing. I mean, I was just naming it because they wanted you to come up with the channel name, or I would have done a different name. I was just fucking around. The very same videos that like I uploaded today, like the angel again and the penny. Those fucking videos sat around for a while. Nobody watched them. And then, once it takes off, you're home free. Like I'll give you an example. I don't do shit now. I get it fucking made. As long as I don't do something stupid. I got 816 subscribers in 2 days.
It's just crazy.
I know. I got 3,319 in the last week.
Well,
And I don't do shit.
people know you. Like, I brought you up to someone who worked with me at the Hilton, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I know him. I know the chosen one." And hold on, it was kind of comical. Like they're trying to pull you up on their cell phone, and it was like in the yard, and they're like, "He's in Detroit right now," and I'm like, "No, that's his front yard." But I didn't want to like.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Correct them, but they're like, "He's there now. He's there now." I'm like, yeah.
I had people come up to me all the time. They recognize the van and Daisy sitting on the dash.
I'll bet that. Well, you're friendly. But sometimes that might be it.
This is only about another minute.
Yeah, you're not going to have it both ways. But I'll be at like in Kentucky or something. Somebody say, "You're not that guy on YouTube, are you?" It's like, yeah.
Oh my God, you're kidding.
No. Sometimes I go to the airport and there's people waiting there to see if I'm going to stop by to take photos for planes. Want to talk?
Wow.
It's nuts.
I believe it.
It's crazy.
It's a huge channel.
No, you didn't miss much, Lisa.
People know. It's all over the country even.
Yeah, it's weird. And I'd have a lot more subscribers, but a lot of people, they don't like the non-interview videos, so they get pissed that, they got a bunch of notices that of like me showing them grilled cheese or something on their phone, and it pisses them off, so I don't care. But I lose, and I got tons of people blocked.
So I'll mark them better next time before I play them. So as long as I got people on here, anybody's got any questions, they're certainly welcome to ask me. It's too bad that I had to come to this, that I had to play these. But if I didn't, you would be thinking that nice, sweet person that thought I walked on water on every video that I uploaded turned out to be an undermining, troublemaking stalker that went right to the crazy mode the minute I cut her off. She even drove up here 320 miles and cut me off as I was walking down to the gas station to buy a lottery ticket. And if I have to, I'll provide that information to anybody that wants it. I've had this happen a bunch of times. I'm totally and completely over it. They don't like me uploading those conversations. If I had a conversation with Frisky or Blue or Simca or anybody fucking normal, I wouldn't upload it for $1 million no matter what they said. But these shitbag troublemakers who went out of their way to try and paint me in a light like I'm a bad guy because everybody thinks they're young, innocent, nice people that have been wronged. And you can glean from these conversations they're anything but that. And if I didn't have these recordings, there'd be 25 other ones out there now doing the same shit, but it's kept them in check. And this kook here, that's the second recording I've uploaded. I got a bunch more and I'll upload all those too. I'll tell you, Blue, I don't really think that. I'd tell you if I thought it was true, but I never got that vibe, to tell you the truth. I think Catherine 313 did. I think, but I don't think she did. I just think she's nuts and a troublemaker and a psycho. I really never got that vibe, to be honest with you. Hey, Rita, how you doing? Yeah, 320 miles one way. Got up here about 10 o'clock at night. Oh, good for you, Renee. So, you know, it's too bad. Here's another thing, too. Now, this isn't a big deal. And if you notice, if I was going to try and paint a picture of me that I wanted to be flawless, I think you can tell by now there's probably quite a few things that I would have edited out, namely my dirty language. But like I said all along, there's no agenda here. I'm not trying to take your money, get to know you, get in your pants, have you vouch for me on a resume, nothing. I can afford to tell the truth. And that's what I'm doing here. Oh, yeah, totally, Brian. Yeah. So, I mean, you're not going to find any chink in the armor anywhere. You know damn well these psychos out there, if they had something on me or there was something I wasn't telling you about, it'd be all over YouTube by now. They don't have anything. It's all bullshit. But back to the reason that jogged my thought, and that is because Miss Piggy down in Chattanooga, I was down there in this spring around there, and it was either a text, an email. I don't think it was a comment on a video because I remember answering. And she wanted me to come to Chattanooga and buy lunch. Well, by that time, I already realized she was a nut. I'd seen a couple pictures of her, and that was enough. There was no way I was going to Chattanooga, and if I did, it wasn't to see her. So I just said, no, it's too far east of me. I'm not going. I don't think this was some big come on by her or whatever. The point is, it's just another example of a stalking psycho that is trying to sell to you. She never did that. And she wants me to come up with some proof that conversation ever happened. I'm not doing it. I did half-ass look around that time period. I didn't find it on a text and I didn't find it on an email. I could if I had to, but it's not worth looking for. I could care less what she thinks. It's the same thing with the two-ton toothless Tessie in Texas. It's true. I did give her $500, and it's true she didn't ask for it. But what she did was uploaded videos where she said she was going to have to sell her camera equipment. And at the time, she had just got going interviewing, and I allowed her to link all her new videos to my channel. Another big, huge mistake. So, you know, live and learn. She's not going to give the $500 back. No problem. Never asked for it. The point is that she'll sell anybody out for anything. Like I said about bulging blue-eyed Debbie and Flint, she'd suck a donkey dick on pay-per-view if it'd get her 10 subscribers. These people are desperate. They're too stupid to interview anybody long-term. They can't come up with any content. And the whole reason for their channel is to criticize others. Yeah, heard it from the horse's mouth. That's exactly right. Yeah. I wouldn't even say they took advantage of my kindness. I offered it. They took it. It didn't work out like I wanted to. I've learned a lot. I'm never again going to promote anybody's channel. I'm not meeting anybody under any circumstances, no matter where I'm at. I don't want text, emails, presents, gifts, donations, chat money, nothing. I'm going to upload videos. People can like them or not, comment or not, and that's it. This isn't going to happen again because this isn't the first time that this has happened. But I'm going to make sure it's the last. It's not going to happen. Yeah. Yeah, there's just something really crazy, seriously wrong with these people. Oh, thank you, Mom. No. Yeah, well, you go up. Her personality didn't change at all, Blue. She was that way long ago, except she faked being empathetic towards drug-addicted people and seemed very good. And on top of it, she paid people for interviews. And I thought, well, this is really cool. This would be great. Somebody could go out there and they're kind of doing the same thing. I mean, I promoted Maddie and Gerald the same way, Sharon the same way. But once you cut the money tree off, or you don't want to have anything to do with them and they get mad, you got to see the real Angie, just a foul-mouthed pig that will do anything she can for attention. No, you can't protect it. No, it's not true. There's nothing you can do. I just got into it with YouTube this morning for an hour on an online chat. Yeah, they can go and call me a stalker and a rapist and a serial killer, steal my avatar, use the photo of a dead lady as your channel picture. The family asks you to take it off. I need to take it off. Badmouth me 24/7 and not do a fucking thing about it. And when I do one little thing, you want to demonetize me. Fuck you. This shit keeps up with YouTube, and I'm not going to be around much longer. YouTube will tell me somebody's copying my videos, right? So I'll go in and I'll click all the buttons to get them taken down. And then they'll want 2.5 hours worth of document. They need more documentation. You're the people that let me know about it to begin with. Go have a conversation with yourself. Yeah, I don't, honestly, the money in YouTube is chump change. I mean, I get it now because I've got 10,500 videos up. I've been around a long time, and it gets put on a recommended list. But I'm telling you, unless you get into the millions of views, 100,000s of watching hours and stuff, you can't buy lunch. Hey, Aircooled, how you doing? Oh, that's cool, Aircooled. How long ago? How long ago, Aircooled? Oh yeah, just so I'm tired of it. It is. It's slander and libel both. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it. No, I've met 99% of the people are fine, but I'm not messing with these kooks anymore. No way. Not doing it. This has happened a lot. If you guys have been around a while, yeah, polite and has boundary. He is a normal person that's polite and has boundary, and he works. He has a job, which is a big difference between him and these stalking lunatics. Yeah, 6 hours. Yeah, confront me because I had taken her off as a moderator. Yeah, what name is she using, Simca? No, you deserved it all. You're a phony too, Bobbles. You'll do anything. You'd suck a donkey dick on pay-per-view to get 10 subscribers and you act like you never want to make any money. Well, don't worry. Just like the rest of your life, nothing's ever been successful. You're not going to make any money. That's a no-brainer. Don't flatter yourself. Get on there with your other fellow illiterates at night. Eat a couple big giant bags of chips, chain smoke, pound the railroad ties in your face, and continue to gossip. You're going nowhere. You're the same loser today that you're going to be 10 years from now. Pop another pain pill while you sit in a chair for 7 hours and claim you can't work. I don't want Tiffany in the chat. No, I've blocked and banned and stifled every goddamn thing I know of connected with her, and it still doesn't work. Yeah, always going to be leaving. Always deleting her channels. She's about ready to get both barrels too. Another fucking misfit. Total lunatic. No. Yeah, you can't. There's nothing you can do to me. Yeah. No, I'm not going to act. I'm not going to. Like I said, if I wanted to portray myself in a false light, I'd probably edit out 35% of what I said to anybody in any conversation I've ever had, but I'm not doing it. And if that offends you and you don't like it, you think, God, this guy's really foul-mouthed. He seems kind of hostile. I don't think I'm going to go there anymore. That's your prerogative. Yeah. Nobody forces you to come on here and look at anything. No, be my guest. I mean, if I would pay $25 to the closest charity to have a big, giant virtual boot kick you right in the fucking back of your ass. Hey, Pinkies, how you doing? Oh, thank you, Mom. No, I got proof of it somewhere. but it's not worth it. Who cares what Bobbles thinks? I mean, really, does anybody, if Bobbles had a rockin' body and a sexy voice and a job, I may jump through a couple hoops to prove to everybody that this conversation exists. But Roseanne Barr with a hairy lip and 2 railroad ties stuck in each cheek, I could give 2 fucks what you think. Go find an all-you-can-eat buffet, change your underwear, try and find a chair that doesn't collapse over 6 hours with you sitting in it, and get fucked. Yeah, the thumbs down count just as much as the thumbs up. Yeah, they do. They count just as much as a thumbs up. It refers you and gets you recommended more. Yeah, that's the way it's going to be. Better World books. Yeah, good. No, I bought some. Yeah, dirt cheap. They're actually about 40% more they were that they were before COVID. It's still a good deal though. Yeah, no, I'm just going to do it that way. No, they're not worth my time. Like I said, there are examples. You know how it is. It's human nature. I tell everybody, we're no different than the goddamn fertile doe in deer hunting season looking for the big dick giant rack on a young buck wanting to put it between her legs. It's all animal behavior. A good-looking young buck isn't looking for an old man with a busted-off ankle and his balls dragging the ground. This all makes sense. So the point here is, if she wasn't a behemoth, had a sexy voice, didn't have a hairy lip, weighed 400 pounds, 2 pairs of underwear sewn together with a chair that'll collapse one of these nights while she's talking, I would probably go look for this information. But I think anybody out there, particularly guys, it's a no-brainer why I wouldn't want to have lunch with her. I don't think I need to jump through any hoops documenting it. How this fucking beast got a date to begin with is a mystery. Yeah. Yeah, no, forget it, man. I don't want it. I could care less what fat, ugly, uneducated, unemployed pigs think of me. Yeah. Now, if you got a rockin' body, you got a fetish for old men, a big bank account, and you're subservient, now I'm going to start jumping through some hoops. But not for that beast. No, I'm supposed to pretend that size doesn't matter. Not happening here. It's not fat shaming. I just don't like fat women. Big difference. If I saw her fat ass on the side of the road with a flat tire, I'd pull her over and help her, even though I couldn't stand her. But I wouldn't take her to dinner. Huge difference. The fuck would I want to take her to dinner for? No, I'm so tired of this shit. These people walking around on goddamn eggshells. I'm supposed to treat this behemoth like she's Miss America. Not happening. And on top of it, she's an uneducated, stupid, lazy bitch. Yeah, no, so fuck them. No. So, I mean, that's just the way it's going to be. Thank you, Lori. That's exactly right. Yeah, it would. I mean, and all these channels seem to, these channels aren't doing shit. Like I said, Maddie has more subscribers than these losers have put together. It's because she's not a troublemaker. She has her problems, but she's not mean-spirited, and she has something better to do to make videos about other channels. Fuck these people. Yeah. Oh, good, Lisa. Yep. Take care. Hit the road if you don't like it. No, I get tired of this shit, man. Oh, good. For Lisa, yeah. Don't come back. Unsubscribe if you're subscribed. Oh, good. Have a good night's sleep. Yeah, or are you out because of something I said, or out because you just happen to be leaving? No, Maddie's a sweetheart person that happens to have a drug problem. She is. She's a good person. Yeah. You guys, I don't have to explain this to anybody. I mean, you just got to watch the videos. You figure these people out. Oh, you happen to be leaving. Oh, my apologies then. I thought you were out because I was telling the truth about behemoths. Oh, okay. My apologies. Sorry. I mean, it's just a mystery, man. You know, you got the Grand Canyon, you got Niagara Falls, and then you got somebody that had a sexual interest in baubles. You talk about the mysteries of the world. It's bad enough she's stupid, ignorant, uneducated, and giant, but she wants to talk about sex. Who in the hell in their right mind would want to care about? I know another behemoth like that, her size, same way. You know, wants to talk about sex. You know why? Because nobody else wants to talk to them about it. So the only way they can maybe start a dialogue is by bringing it up themselves. You ever see a good-looking, attractive woman want to talk about sex? Fuck no. She gets asked out to eat 50 times a day. Hey, Dolly. Yeah, Maddie is a lovely person. That is totally true. And these people that Maddie should be with her children, they don't know jack shit. Her children are better off without her, and she knows this. So are Becky's, and she acknowledges it. I mean, Angie thinks she's a good mother. Well, I can tell you right now, hate to see Angie help tutor her children in any facet. Her grammar's terrible. Her singing sucks. I'm sure she doesn't know anything about science or math. So how good of a parent can you really be? I would agree with that, Mary. They'd have to be. They'd have to be. You'd think you fell off the top of a 2-story apartment building. Yeah, they like to talk about sex. And I tried extending the olive branch, just burying the hatchet, becoming a better person, ignoring my feelings. And I offered with Two-Ton Toothless Tessie in Texas and Miss Piggy in Chattanooga, I offered that at the next wedding they go to, that I will fly down there on my own dime, and I agree to get soaking wet doing a slow dance with them. Yeah, but you're not bragging about being the world's greatest parent either, Lori. That's the point here. How can you be the world's greatest parent when you can't spell, you're reading shaky, and you mispronounce half the words? Yeah. It's just so nuts. Yeah, I'm just not doing it, man. They can take me off the YouTube, do whatever they want. But I'm tired of running around acting like, I may say something, accidentally that you need to lose 100 pounds off each ass cheek. Fuck it. That's not fat shaming. You need to lose weight. Call it whatever you want. Yeah, she didn't even do the due diligence to get parvo shots for him. And then she goes on and makes a video like it's parvo instead of her negligence as a pet owner. Yeah. But like I said, she can't tutor her kids either. No, she's too stupid. Just a big loudmouth Texan that doesn't want to work. You guys are always hitting me up for pictures and text and proof of this, proof of that. I'd like some proof that she was ever a stripper. I don't believe it. I think that's another lie. Must have been in a place where everybody had stopped in before cataract surgery. I mean, you shitting me? Stripper, horse shit. Need a goddamn forklift to put her on stage. I'm not putting up with this shit anymore. It is animal negligence, it sure is. Once the stupid videos and the smiley comments and the puppy videos were over and it got down to the due diligence of being a responsible pet owner, she was gone. Yeah, didn't do shit. 2 dead and 1 that's never coming home. Oh, well, I'm not so sure I'm, somebody to admire, but I'm not putting up with this shit anymore. Yeah, she's too ignorant. Yeah, she could never go through a complicated recipe. No, maybe boiling hot dogs, That's why she orders to-go food all the time. She's too fucking lazy to cook. Probably tastes like shit anyway. Angel, you got to be around. Go back in the chat. Figure it out yourself. I mean, when you show up at a movie when there's 5 minutes left and everybody's sitting there crying, do you ask them, why are you crying? It's because they were there 90 minutes before you were. It's inhumane. It is. Yeah, it is true. Yes, okay, yeah, it doesn't get any lower than that. But she'll tell you in her next video that she's an animal lover. Yeah, no, I'm not doing it anymore, man. Like I said, it's not fat shaming. It's not. Yeah, no way. So, yeah, I probably could have organized. I can't tell when I click on those audio files who it is and what they're talking about. So I probably should have lined them up better. But you get the gist of it. You know now what this lady's like. And that's her. 100%. Game over. No, you get sick of it, Conan. No, I think that too, Tim. And the guy that she refers to her husband, they're not even married. They probably get more welfare that way. Yeah, I'm gonna get down there. I will be down there. Yep, for sure. Yeah, I don't think it's fat shaming. I mean, leave it to these behemoths to come up with some kind of new word to get you to shut the hell up about telling them that they need to lose 50% of their weight. That's what the world's come down to now. I mean, I will thank her for this. And if you're listening, Blabbles, this is from my heart. Thank you for combing your hair, driving 2 railroad spikes into your chipmunk cheeks, and above all, putting on about a 1/2 inch of makeup with a 3-inch paint roller. Thank you for that from the bottom of my heart. Hey, I could lose some weight myself, but I'm not big enough to be able to sue you over it, claim that you fat shamed me. Maybe I'll gain another 50 pounds. So, now it's more than you just not liking me and commenting on my weight. I mean, does anybody know the cutoff there where it transitions from fat slob to fat shaming? Does anybody have this information? Won't get fooled again. The WHO. That's it. And does anybody know where that transition area occurs? Yeah, I think they need a job. That's true. Yeah, where is it? Where's the transition area? 300? Okay. Yeah, true, Tim. The brain. That's exactly it. Oh, I didn't even know you had those, Rita. Sorry about that. Yeah, no, that's how she is. That's how these people are. That's why their channels are dead in the water. No, they don't. No, and me or anybody else they don't like. With Maddie or Becky or Cassie or anybody else. No, it's true. Even Sharon, I'm not a fan of, but I don't think people should be making fun of her. No, they don't, Blue. No, I don't. Oh, you like music, huh? Good for you. Eye for an eye, right on. Old Testament. Yeah, I didn't know about that, Rita. Sorry about that. Are your treatments over, and how did you make out? You doing okay now? Yeah. You know, like I told YouTube today in about an hour chat, you guys don't do, there's no other place you can go in this country and be harassed, stalked, lied about, your photos and videos copied, people calling you a murderer, liar, rapist, and have it up with nothing being done about it than here. You can report it until your finger falls off, and it does no good. It's the truth. It does. I'm 100% believer in karma. I really am. I believe it in 100%. I do. I believe every single bit about it. Yeah, good night, Lori. Have a good night. Yep. Take care. I think it is. Yeah, I think it's nuts. No, Angie. Angie claims she was a stripper. That had to have been at least 150 pounds ago. Yeah, it is, Jan. It's true. Yeah. Look, I don't wish him any ill will, but I mean, whoever's just gonna, I mean, everybody knows there's a standard, whether it's valid or whether it isn't. I've never seen one person like Angie or Bobbles anchoring the evening news anywhere my whole life. And there's a reason for that. They need to own it. Yeah, Amanda's doing great. She's doing great. Had a baby, working full time, off drugs, and nowhere near Detroit. Yeah, that make more sense, John. Yeah, she's doing fine. Both Amandas are. The other one just had a baby too. She's married with another guy that beat drugs. You're doing great. Yep. Yeah, he's all right, Dolly, John. He didn't mean anything by it. John didn't. I don't think he should get banned from that. No, that's how it is, though. The gloves are off now. Yep. Hi. Yeah, reap what you sow. That's what I say. The nut job from Indiana. She didn't really try to run over me. It was just she couldn't believe that she'd ran into me accidentally, which couldn't have happened again in a million years. I haven't walked down there 5 times in 10 years. And here this nut comes around the corner. But I already got the hospital. It was right in front of the hospital in the parking lot. So they're burning me a copy of the videotape. Oh, good for you, Logan. Hi, hon. Hi, Daisy. I didn't take Daisy when I did photos today because it was too, hi, honey. Hi, honey. It was too hot. Yeah, well, I think I'm going to sign off here, you guys. So you guys have a good day today. I don't think I'll be on again tonight. I'll probably be on tomorrow. So appreciate you showing up. Anybody out there that knows Bobble's real name, let me know, yeah? And anybody out there that knows that Chosen One girl's real name, let me know. I'll pay you for it. I need their legal names. Yeah, good, Rita. I'm glad you made it out of that dark time. Air cool, you have a good day. Yeah, see you, John. Yeah, okay, Mary. Yeah. Bye, Alethea. Thank you. See you, Carl. See you, old Dad. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Blue. Well, thank you, Dolly. Yeah, Frisky, thank you. Take care. Yeah. All right, Roddy Dogs. All right, Paul. Yeah. See you, Tim. Bye, Dak. Yeah, you guys too. See you, Austin. Bye, Stephanie. See you, Margaret. Yeah, you didn't miss much. All right, take care, you guys. Bye, Elizabeth. See you, Brandy. See you, Hangover. Bye, Angel. See you, Paul. Thank you.